Fred's already in. Hello, Fred. Right, here we are again. It's almost sundown, as you can see. It's getting pretty low in the sky. So I'm gonna give it a little minute or two just to see if anyone else arrives before we get going. And then I'll update you on what's occurring, because it's not quite straightforward as I thought today. So yeah, it's a bit busier here than I thought it would be. All right. Also, I don't have my little phone with me, so I'm hoping that the chat will pop up, but honestly, I am not entirely sure about what's going on with this. Where's the chat? There's the thing. Live chat, top chat, live chat. There we go. There we go. That's better. Right. Well, I don't know if we're going to get many more people. It might be a short one. Might be a small number of people today. Maybe everyone's finally got bored of me walking around camping in random places. I don't know if you can see, Fred. There's the SCS that was in the previous video, the little the recce, and just over here, if you can see them in the background, there's a group of people, sort of maybe car enthusiasts again. I'm not sure. They've got kids with them though as well, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on, but there is activity just right by where I want to walk around. Hey, Boone, you're in. Billy's live. Who's Billy, man? I don't know who Billy is. You're gonna have to tell me who that is, Boone. Man, the stats on this are weird. I don't know if we've lost Fred and gained Boone or whatever's going on, but oh no, there we go. It now says 6 people. I think my internet might be a bit dodgy. It was saying one person for ages, but now all of a sudden it's jumped to 6, 7 people. So everyone who's in, say hello, and hopefully you can hear me. If anyone can hear me, just say hello quickly and just say you can hear me, because I've got my mic on and I don't know if the sound's going to be very good or not. So some little sort of nod towards that. Thanks, Fred. Right. Okay, so there's enough of you in there. There's like 8 of you. So I'm going to give the quick situation rep again, sit rep. So I'm hiding in the bus shelter again. Yeah, so there is currently a group of people over here right next to this hedge that I need to be walking along to get to where I want to be. So I've changed the plan. I'm going to the same spot, don't worry, I'm still going to get over there. But I think if I go in this direction, I'm going to be able to find my way. And then once we're there, I'll show you what I've got in my bag of swag and what gear I've got with me. So here we go. Not too worried about having the camera, or my phone rather, out. It's not going to probably draw too much attention. At the end of the day, it's just some weirdo walking around with his phone. So, but yeah, look, I'll swing around a little bit so you can see them. There they are, just a big group of people fiddling around in the corner where I want to be. So, yeah, it is a nice sunset, Boone. It can't get here any sooner. I tell you, I want the sundown. This is a much busier area than I thought it was going to be. What I'm going to do, I'm going to switch the camera while I walk. There we go. You guys can see where I'm going now. There you go, rather than just looking at my ugly mug. And then I can hold the camera a bit lower as well and give my arm a rest. So I'm going to duck across here and go around the building, just there in the middle, where that person's walking. I'm pretty sure I can go around this building and get to the back. If you remember on the recce, there's a hedge next to that building that I'm looking to camp next to, and essentially the hedge does have a gap or two, and I'll be able to get through and quite nicely circumvent. I thought he was going to back into it. Yeah, I'll be able to circumvent that group of people quite nicely if this works. But it could go all wrong because there could be more actual CCTV around the back here, and I could pique the interest of a security guard or something like that. That's probably my biggest concern with this one, actually. A security guard could be just walking around, looking about, making sure no one's doing anything silly like camping on the premises or something. So if there was ever one where I was going to get caught, it might well be this one. So BJ's Misadventures, that's a new person. Super. So welcome to the chat. I hope. Yeah, welcome to the chat. Glad to have as many people in as possible, really. So, yep, I don't think it says no unauthorized persons allowed beyond this point, but yeah, there's definitely CCTV here. If I just walk like I'm just walking, I think I'll get away with this. There's all sorts back here. Quite interesting, actually. Just left some gas canisters out. That's a bit silly. They could get pinched so easy. These things are expensive. Oh, that'd be cool, Boone. I'd appreciate that. It's a more the merrier situation, isn't it, really? And as usual, I've no idea what's going to happen. This one's definitely probably the sketchiest thing I've done. Well, it's definitely the most sketchy thing I've done live. The first one on the 1 kilo mission was sketchy, but definitely not this sketchy. This is properly mad. So here we are. This is the building. You can just see it over here. That's the bit where I want to get to. So for the start, I'm going to have to hide behind it for sure. I was thinking I might actually put my tent in front of it because there's not too much visibility from the path and basically where the bus stop was, where we started. That's really the only sort of point where you can look down this green space and see me. And I'm not sure if you can actually even see me from that vantage point if I'm stood sort of underneath that, just here, just underneath that tree. So I'm just going to check that out again. I didn't really do a thorough recce, if I'm honest. I rushed it a little bit. I was quite excited to have found such a good spot. I mean, I could probably camp here, to be fair. Pitch my tent just there. This is flat as you like, and there's not really a lot going on. Once it's dark, I don't imagine anyone's going to see me there. Right, let's squeeze through. I'll switch you back now. There we go. So there we are. And this is home sweet home for the night. All right. Let's see if I can extend this thing out. It might get wobbly, but I need to hold you guys a bit further out to actually get any level of visibility. But if I'm not walking, it shouldn't be too bad. Hopefully that's not too wobbly. So yeah, this is a quiet little spot. So just behind me, you can probably make out, oh, my head's not in the way, you can just see through here. That's my point of most visibility, really. But tucked behind here, if I have to put my lights on for you guys to be able to see me, I think I'll be safe enough. So I'm just gonna excuse the judderiness for just a second. Quinton. I hope I'm saying it right. Quinton? Is that how I say it? I hope it's not Quentin like Tarantino, because then I look right silly. But Quinton, I'm assuming from the spelling. Right. Let's see if we can actually get that level. That could be the trickiest bit today. Oh no, there we go. Yeah, that's all right. And I'll stay squatted, I think, just because it's Actually, what I'll do is I'm going to lower that down and just change the angle. There we go. Perfect. Right. I got a yes. Cheers, man. Good to know. Right. So I'll give you guys the rundown. Is that too far away? Yeah, that's too far away. I'm tightening that. Let's bring that about there. I'll find a spot that isn't too bouncy on the floor. There we go. And that's pretty good. Ah. I thought that thing was probably metal, but it's actually plastic. There you go. Right, so yeah, this is the spot. Other than this weird building, whatever this is for, I don't know if it's some kind of gas exchange or electrical exchange or something. I don't know, but whatever this is for, it's just all nice and green out there. I'll give you a little tour a bit later on when it's quiet down out there. Maybe before we head off to get some food. But for now, I'll show you what I bought because it's a tiny, tiny pack. I am learning as I go. So being a stealth camp, obviously I'm not traveling very far, so I don't have to worry about lightweight gear, but that's basically all I have. I don't have lots of heavy duty gear. I'm not like Paul with my big hyena too and stuff like that. I've just got all my lightweight well, I've got one lightweight tent, one mesh tent, and I've got my Tyvek sleeping bag that I sometimes use to do cowboy camping, as some of you call that. I've never heard that term before until doing all this on YouTube, but I like that term. That's good. Yeah, other than that, the only thing I've ever used since I stopped using bivvies a while back and I got my current tent, I do have an emergency bivvy, and I'll tell you guys all about how I used that for my 8-day trip across the country. I say 8 days. You don't know yet how many days I actually did, and I won't give away too much, but that was the idea. Across the country in 8 days with 7 nights and sleeping just in emergency bivvy. It's going to be really good. I've already started on the edit. It was a really good adventure. I won't tell you whether I succeeded or not, but lots of stuff happened. It was a properly good adventure, and it's well worth the watch. But yeah, that's about my level of kit anyway. So I have like one tent, basically one proper tent. So that's all the choice that I have. I don't get to like pick and choose between what gear is going to work. So I'm still using lightweight gear even though I'm here. But there's the bonus to that is basically I can fit everything into this really small pack, which doesn't make me look like I'm camping. It's really cool. So I also don't need a lot of the gear that I'd normally have because it's quite mild tonight. So I've got my pillow as usual. I've got some stuff for cleaning up and brush my teeth and stuff like that. I've got my tent with some pegs. I will need to cut a pole. Well, I say that, if I can put it up behind the other side of this building underneath that tree, I might be able to just tie the point to the branches. That's something I like to do with that. I don't like to do that if it's really windy, but I'm really sheltered here and there's not a lot of wind, so that should be fine. All right, I'm just going to quickly have my head in my phone for 2 seconds while I get this up so I can actually see the chat. Right. Oh, I need to put my hotspot on. Right. Just very quickly. Getting close. That's not what I want. Oh, I've got a VPN on. Let's turn that off. That's not really helping, is it? Ugh, there we go. Get rid of that notification. There we have it. Right. That should be on. Hopefully that didn't mess anything up. Hopefully you guys can still see everything okay. All right. There we go. There we have it. Right. Okay. Lovely. I can see everyone. Actions. How do we go? Oh, go away. There we go. So what was that? Fred said, just walk like you own the place. If you're going to get caught, do it live. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Right. Yeah, I can see all the chat now. So feel free to fire off questions, and hopefully there's no delay and I don't miss anything. I've discovered that sometimes I miss some stuff in the comments. Either that's because I'm busy or it didn't come up in the chat on my phone here, but I'm not quite sure what goes on with that. So anyway, so as I was saying, got my pillow, got my tent with my pegs, and I'll need to get a pole for that cut at some point, at least a little one at the bottom, but maybe the big one. We'll see how that goes. But there are a few trees around, should be able to get something. And then my sleeping quilt, and the absolute must-have, my sleeping mat. But that is basically it. The main compartment is empty. All I've got else is just some water, a sit mat, batteries, because I need a lot of batteries when I do this sort of thing. And oh, can you not hear anything? Oh dear. Just tuned in. Let's have a beer. Oh, you can hear. Okay, cool. Cheers, Sparker. For a second, I was like, "Oh, damn, that'd be awful if the sound ever goes." Right. So, oh, I didn't know that, man. Ah, I guess there's no subtitles for this. It's not. I tell you, that'd be good when they can actually get some live subtitles. That'd be really cool. But I suppose technically you could probably use Google Translate or something similar to that. Just have it go English to English or something. I don't know. That could work. But that said, if you're happy just reading the chat and watching me fiddle about, that's good too. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, and then I've just got. We'll go in here. Got my saw, so I can actually cut a stick because I have to be able to cut it from a tent, and I've got my lights. But that's it. That's all I bought. And you might be thinking, well, where's the? But as I said in the recce, if any of you have watched that, you'll already know. The plan is to go over to either Burger King or KFC and get my dinner there, so I don't even have to cook anything. I've bought a few supplies. I've got the bag of swag, as Paul would call it. I've just bought myself a bit of milk. I'll probably get a drink with my dinner, so that's just for maybe a little bit later to go with some really nice chocolate muffins. I didn't make it in time to go to Family Bargains, so instead I've ended up having to go to M&S, which is proper swanky and it's got some nice stuff in there, although it's all M&S brand. I don't know what that's about, but that's what they got. But these muffins look really nice, and they'll go quite nicely with a little bit of milk later on after dinner. Got some peanut and dark chocolate breakfast bars, cereal bars, whatever you want to call them. There for the morning. And then just some red pepper pita chips, which I've never tried before. We'll find out together if they're any good. And that's all I bought so far, because as I say, dinner's going to be courtesy of one of those restaurants over there. I haven't had a KFC in years, and I do love a KFC, so I think that's probably going to be where I end up. Right. Another good thing about this spot is if I step forward a bit, you can see the yard or whatever you call that. But as soon as I'm back here, there really isn't. There's like just a corner of it, just this like bit of corner. And then over here, that's about my only point of visibility. And that has got basically a river. The river Great Ouse is just flowing down here. And then there's obviously a fence and all the trees. So I'm pretty, I'm pretty safe here, I think. I don't reckon anyone's going to see me. So I'm just going to quickly change the camera so you can see what on earth is happening. Right, so this is where I'm thinking I could potentially pitch my tent just down here. It's a little bit flatter, I think. I'm not sure. Switch the camera back. Yeah, that's not that flat actually. Yeah, this bit is more flat. This is a good spot to do it actually. Oh yeah, and I don't have any eye line. Look, if I come down here, if my tent is like this, that you can't see anything over that way now. It's totally gone. It's good question, Boone. No, there is none, not in this corner. So I've looked all along the walls here, and there's no, and up here, there's no, that way, there you go. There's no CCTV on this side at all. There was plenty down that way. There was quite a few while I was walking by. That's why I was a bit concerned about walking that way, but here, none at all. But I do think, essentially, that is where I want to pitch my tent. It might seem quite open because there's like all this space, but the cool thing is, as I was showing you, is when we're in this space, we're not visible to anything at all, really. The people over there can't see us, and then the people down there can't. So the only point of visibility is this over here. I'm happy to take the risk over there. If I wait until it gets a bit darker to put the tent up, I think I'll be all right. And this is quite a nice, calm spot. This is really peaceful, actually. I'll take you for a quick walk because I haven't seen a soul in this bit over here. And other than what's going on down near the bus stop where I first started, there's like zero activity. The two shops next to where I'm camped, basically, other side of me, they closed hours ago. So it's just people using the car parks at the front still, which is the annoyance. But yeah, so you can see we've got the ooze here. It's pretty cool. There's more space over here, but the grass just gets really long and a bit aggravating. But I suppose potentially, if I wanted to be really stealth or do like a long-term one, I could camp somewhere over there. But yeah, it's a pretty good spot overall. I'm really happy with it. And yeah, I think the sun's down now. I can't see it anymore in the sky, so we should be pretty good. And there's the campsite. So yeah, I think I'll be sitting in here for the evening because I can lean up against. Although, to be honest, if I'm going to put the tent the other side, can I just sit the other side? See, what I'm worried about, yeah, so something I'm worried about in terms of where I kind of sit and have my food and do all that sort of thing. Although, to be fair, I could eat in KFC, I guess, but that might be weird chatting to you guys. I think I'll just get it to go and then come out here. But yeah, so yeah, I could technically sit just down on this side with the tent in front of me. I just think that the light might be a bit visible. So yeah, you're probably right, Boone. Sunset side. It's got to be done, isn't it, really? It's much safer. I'm going to feel far more comfortable when I'm streaming. It's yeah, it's going to be this side. So what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to set up what I'm going to be sitting on. I didn't bring both my sit mats today. I just bought one, and I'm not sure I'll even need that because the plan is to use something else that I don't regularly use for this, but I should because it would be far more comfortable. And as I'm going to be spending a lot more time sitting down this evening, I mean, something that I have used, and you guys have seen this, any of you watched the McDonald's one will have seen me using this quite a lot on that one, because when I've got a nice wall to lean up against, this thing works brilliantly. I just put this in the pump bag. The only downside is obviously it's a stool, so I don't have my feet up. But what I do also have is my Climate Cush. So give you guys a good look at this. This is what I use as a pillow with my with obviously the wool cushion on top of it to make it a little bit softer. I have used it without that, and it's okay. But any of you guys who've been doing camping a long time, you know a good pillow is the difference between a good night's sleep and a bad one. I still don't understand how Noah goes without a pillow and just uses whatever's stuffed into his bag. I'm like, nah, I just wouldn't get a night's sleep with that. So, but anyway, so this I can basically blow up in one breath, hopefully. Oh, I did. Right. So yeah, so it pads up quite nicely, and when I'm sleeping on it, I just fold it in half, put my other cushion on top, and I have my little fleece wrap that keeps it all together, and it's super comfortable for sleeping on, but it doubles up as a seat. I can have it like that, and it's a nice seat. I'm not entirely sure what these were supposed to be for, whether it's a place to put a cup or something. Well, I'm like, you'd be daft to put your cup there, you're spilling on yourself. I did consider that's potentially a place for you just to put your ear, so your ear doesn't get squished against them if you're using it as a cushion. But then my question would be, why is it at the end? Because I don't know that you want to be at the end of the cushion with your ear just there, but I mean, maybe you'll fold it like that. I don't know. That maybe the person who designed this had something very specific in mind, and it's what they wanted for themselves, and they had a particular way of using it. But yeah, my plan is just to put the pump bag down, just to keep that from getting too messy, and sit on that. Yep, that is as comfortable as it gets, but I need to bring you guys in a bit closer and a bit further down. So, oh, excuse me, just making a mess of that. There we go. Oh, lovely. There we go. So yeah, not a huge amount to do really at this point. I've got to wait a little while to set up the tent so I can do a little chit chat with you guys. I haven't looked at the what do you call it, the comments for a little while. Ask for courtesy delivered to your spot. That's a good. Oh dear, that would be ballsy. That would be. Oh, I think I need to move over to the side. There's this bumpy bit there. That's not so good. All right, there we have it. I'm not quite central anymore either, so excuse me for fussing. There we go. Right, there we go. Yeah, not too bad. I've definitely had worse spots to camp in, I have to say. I've had far worse spots. So, wow, is that unanimously KFC on the chat? That's well done, KFC. The popularity of KFC is crazy. Right. Wow, is this just really far behind? Yeah, I don't know why. Right, there we go. All right. I'm just going to check through some messages. No, yeah, that's it. What is behind that bush is right of the river. Oh, are you asking about the trees, the other side of the river? That is a TK Maxx, and that's again like the back end, a bit like what we walked through to get here. That's just the sort of loading sort of depot side of all that. So I think it's a TK Maxx at first, and then a few other shops and stuff going down there. There's loads of shops here. It's quite a big retail park, to be fair. There's like a roundabout, and then you've got the other side of that is a spot where they've got like, I think, a Starbucks, a Costa, and M&S food hall where I got my supplies from, and a big beer. I think there's quite a big B&Q there as well. Then you come over this side of the roundabout and you've got like in two halves again. You've got this one where you've got all like the Dreams and SCS for all the sofa stuff and whatnot over this side, and I think there's like a gym at the end, and I've got a feeling the gym's going to be busy. So most of the other stuff is closed already. I think it's 9 o'clock now, so I'm pretty sure like the M&S is closing now. Quite a few other things are closing. The KFC and the Burger King are open till 11, but I think everything else, barring maybe the gym, is closed on this side, and it was closed when I turned up. So I'm safe for like anything like that. I think the only concern I've got is there could be some level of security, maybe like a guy just walking around. But I don't know he's going to be bothering to look over hedges for people camping. Let's face it, he's probably been, if there is a guy, he's probably been doing the job for years and he's never seen anything like this. And is probably just going to, by rote, just look at all the bits he normally looks at and sit behind his desk after that and just while away his night, similar to me. So I think my worst problem is going to be the flies. There's quite a lot of flies. I guess that's because I'm by the river, which is probably going to be the most annoying thing the whole night. But when I get a light on, I'll make sure the brightest one is further away from me. And so they'll be attracted to the lights and that'll solve that, hopefully. I mean, fingers crossed. I'm not always the best at judging what the flies are going to do, but yeah, it's a lovely spot. It's properly secure, actually. I guess some people obviously come here. There's a lot of graffiti, so potentially people could turn up and use this for a bit of a spot just to doss around in. So I guess others have used it. I just don't know how regular that would be and whether they'd be put off by a guy in a tent. Certainly, I won't be going to sleep very early. I'll want to be able to do. No mozzies there. I mean, there might be a few little, what we call mozzers, but no actual mosquitoes. I am quite grateful we don't have problems with that in this country. Well, not where I live anyway. I guess there might be parts that do, but yeah, we don't have big problems with mosquitoes, thankfully. Oh, Sparker goes to the Burger King. Fair play, Sparker. Yeah, I would be tempted, but I've had Burger Kings recently. A little thing about that, basically I've had some health issues in the past, and I've been on like exclusionary diets to try to figure out because I was pretty sure I was intolerant to something, and I was just trying to go through and figure out what it was and sort of exclude certain things from my diet. And for a couple of years now, or maybe less than 2 years, I'm not sure. It's a long time. It's over a year for sure. I haven't been having anything that has rapeseed oil in it, and a few other things as well. It's some kind of thing called erucic acid. Anything with that in it, I had to kind of avoid, and that seemed to help. But I've recently discovered, having tried pork. Pork is the thing that I can't eat. So I'm no longer able to eat things containing pork. So sausages and bacon and everything are off the menu for me, which is a bit unfortunate because I love bacon and anything pork related, to be fair. But I get back all the stuff that I wasn't eating for the last couple of years, which is a lot of things because rapeseed oil and the other few things that are on the list of things I couldn't have. There's a lot of stuff on that list and just everything. I mean, just everything was just on that list. And I just got so tired of not being able to have stuff. So anything that was cooked in vegetable oil, for instance, was off the menu. So no chip shops anymore, no KFC, no. I mean, I could do Burger King, but I could only have the burger. I couldn't have the fries. It's all annoying stuff. But now I can have the oil again. KFC's back on the menu, so it's good and bad. And I'll take it as a win if I can get my KFC back and I can have the chips at Burger King again. So I have had a few Burger Kings over the last couple of years. I don't do it often, but I've had a few. But I haven't had KFC for. I mean, I'm not sure. It could be. It's at least 2 years, but it could be 3 or 4 years. So yeah, I'm dying for a KFC. But I do love my Burger King as well. So I'm sure I'll get one of those on another mission further in the future. Yeah, it's in the UK. That's where I am. So that's why I'm doing something daft like this, I suppose. Mind you, lots of countries do stealth camping. Weirdly, wild camping is more of a UK kind of thing because we have the silly rules about not being able to camp anywhere. So you don't really have to worry about that in places like, say, Scotland. But in England, we do. And then there's obviously a lot of countries that have the right to roam. But then a lot of countries don't. So I'm not really up on who does and doesn't do wild camping. But I mean, I'm aware that like it's predominantly on YouTube. It's a UK thing. But then the stealth camping obviously is kind of global. So as I've learned from this Stealth Camping Alliance, there are people all over the world doing it. So obviously, you know, the stealth camping thing's quite popular in a lot of places, which is really cool actually. And this sort of thing is quite fun. And I'd never thought to do this before I did the YouTube thing. I'd always just be doing properly, like out of the way, trying to find like a little woodland somewhere. Yeah, just like no bacon, that's criminal. Yeah, Fred, I tell you, there were 3 foods I think that like are the best things in the world, and it's basically cheese, bacon, and chocolate. For me, that's like they're the 3 prime sort of foods that if you lose them, it's devastating. But I think as long as you've got 2, if you've got 2 out of the 3, you're okay. And I've still got cheese and I've still got chocolate, so it's all good. My wife, she has a nickel allergy and she can't eat a lot of dark chocolate. She has to avoid that because obviously comes out in like with skin problems, and it's not good for her. And so she basically can still do a little bit of milk chocolate, and she's good with white chocolate, like, but yeah, dark chocolate's off the menu, and she has to be careful with a few other things. But yeah, she kind of like didn't lose it entirely, but she lost a fair bit of the chocolate, but she can still do bacon and cheese. But the thing is, I cook, so she doesn't get to have a lot of bacon. but she can always cook it for herself if she wants, but she leaves me to do the cooking. So we've had a lot less. In fact, yeah, there's been so little pork in the well, I was going to say the house, but in the van. Yeah, so everyone's kind of had to deal with that as being a loss on the diet. It's always worth a mention, Boone. You guys are brilliant. I can't even remember how I stumbled across you guys. Whether one of you found me or I found you, I can't quite remember. My memory's not good for that sort of detail. But yeah, I was fascinated the second I saw one of your, the first video of yours I saw was the one where you went to the tower and you had like those 4 massive great sort of beasts like with wings and stuff and all that on the top. That looked fantastic. And I was gutted that you didn't actually camp there, but I guess you might do that in the future once once the weather's better. But that was awesome, and you got some great drone footage on that as well. I was a bit jealous of that. I don't have a drone yet. I want to get one, but I don't know much about them, and they probably do cost an arm and a leg to get a good one. So I'm like, I'd need a good one because I'd want it to be able to do a lot of the job for me, because I'm not going to be able to be flying that and doing all the other filming. But there you go. All right. That's true, Fred. You only hear once. You only get one go at it. Cool. Do you know what? I'm assuming you meant you are the chief, cool, or not chef, because that says chef. Unless I'm misinterpreting what was said there. But yeah, so Mini 2 on Facebook was 150 quid, worth every penny. A Mini 2. No, I'll keep that in mind, man. I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, I saw somebody on a short. Can't remember what it was, some runner, and there was a comment that they were responding to with this video, and it was a video of them just running up some steps, and there was a comment saying like big up to the cameraman, because obviously they're running behind you, keeping up with you while holding a camera, and it was dead steady. But then you get to, this is the response video, so then they flick around the perspective, obviously with another camera, and you see that it's a drone following them, and they say, oh, it's, you know, this thing's programmed to follow you, so it's really easy, and it just lands on their hands. And I was like, holy moly, I want one like that could just follow me. That would be awesome. You could get so many good shots if you can like choose how far away it is and stuff like that. That would be awesome. So like if I do a bit of trail running ever, it can actually follow me, because I love the shots on Lady Bower, the Lady Bower 1 kilo mission. They were awesome shots I managed to get while I was running behind Noah, and it was almost like really low drone footage because I kept it as still as I could, but it wasn't as good as a drone, to be fair. Drone's going to be smoother, but yeah, it's chef cooking. Oh, that's what you were talking about. Sorry, Boone. Yeah, you were talking about being a chef. Yeah. That makes more sense now. I think my comments are a bit delayed. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that sounds like a price ticket that I can't afford right yet, Sparker. 500 quid is a lot of money for any bit of kit at the moment. It's I spent quite a lot on my camera, my 360 one, but that was, I actually bought that about, I don't know, a year or two before I actually started the YouTube. Because I bought it to do YouTube and I kept putting it off. I'm sure many of the others here who do YouTube may have been in the same boat where you kind of wanting to do it but put it off for random reasons and whatnot. But yeah, I eventually got myself around it a bit and just pushed myself to actually get it done. I procrastinate sometimes over some things, so that's one of the reasons why I actually started a YouTube channel. I'd stopped getting out doing camping adventures. Me and Noah had been doing them for years, over a decade, but we'd slowly and surely stopped doing them, and especially since my boys had come along, I spent a lot more time with them, and sort of things get in the way, and I always end up having like an excuse not to do the things that I want to get out and do. I just was like, I need something to push me. So I was like, if I start doing YouTube and I take it seriously, like I want to try and actually get like a properly good channel where maybe I'm monetized, and it's an actual thing I want to do. If I've got a reason to go out and I've got a reason to push myself to get out for this trip and that trip, then I'll actually do it. And it's worked a treat. I've been getting out and doing all sorts of stuff. And the trip across England, I mean, I've never tried anything even remotely close to that. That is by far the biggest challenge I've ever tried. And I'm pretty proud of myself that I actually got out and tried that. And yeah, I mean, the first day while I had actually got started and was walking, it was weird. I was kind of it was a bit surreal. Like it hadn't hit that I'd started, but I also was really proud of myself that I actually bothered to get off my bum and get out and do it. And yeah, 115 miles that was supposed to be, that trip. And yeah, it was a lot, but there you go. That's something that YouTube's definitely given me a bit of a kick up the bum. And the kids to the beach. Be safe. Oh, cheers, Fred. You take care, man. Have a good. Well, I suppose it's still the daytime over there, but you have a good day, man. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Right. I'm thinking it's probably time to get over and get some KFC. But I'm wondering if I should set up my tent first. What do you guys think? KFC first or tent first? It's not that dark yet. If I set the tent up, I can leave a lot of my gear here. Not that there's a lot. Yeah, I'll probably leave my bag here anyway. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. Yeah, I don't know. So I've got a little while before KFC closes, whether I do need to eat soon. I don't want to be eating in the middle of the night. Oh yeah, little mozzers. They're not actual mosquitoes. We call these little pretend little things mozzers. Right. So, need to think about a stick. That's what I need to do. Get a stick and set up the tent. Yeah, I'm going to do that first. Tent first. Because I think it'll be all right. So, admin first. Right. Let's see if I can do this while actually being on camera. This is always a bit of a trick. Just need to take a little look around just to make sure there's nobody about. That's like the first. That's the first bit. Let me give you guys a look right and see what I'm seeing. So yeah, there's that's true, Paul. That is true. And welcome to the chat, Paul. Yeah, so first things first, a stick. There's plenty of nice straight little plant trees over there that I could get one from, but they're the other side of the river. That's not cool. So I could technically chop one off of one of these trees. I don't really want to go chopping off like good branches, but there is a branch there. And it's a bit of a bent one. Yeah, I'm thinking that branch might work, but I don't really want to take a whole thing off like that. Yeah. It's a shame it's not a bit, well, it is kind of flat here. Can I get a, right, I'm going to spin this around. So what I'm thinking is there is a point up here where I could get a string line down to here, I'm just wondering if the tent will actually set up here or not. So yeah, basically, if I give you a shot just here, it's quite flat. Yeah, there. So this bit's very flat, and directly above it is the tree, albeit it's not got the most sturdy branches there. But I think because I can grab the branch, I'd be tying to this point here. Where would that put things? Yeah, my vestibule is going to be pretty tight against that bush. Unless I did it the other way around. Would that work? Yeah, that could work. What's the slope like? Now it's pretty flat. That's as flat as it comes. So I could have that in the vestibule coming out. That's the plan. All right, we're going to try and do it without the stick. I just need a little one, that means. So yeah, man, I probably could have just bought the what do you call it? The little. It came with a little pole, like a little aluminium fold-up thing. I probably could have just used that. Right, if I pop you like this, there we go. Yeah, you can see what I'm going to disappear for like 1 second to get all the gear and bring it around here, and I'm going to set the tent up. So 1 second. Right, there we go. I'll bring this phone with me just so I can see the chat. We've got here. We've got someone called Bodger the Badger. Hello. And yeah, hello again to Paul Welsh. Good to see you. 10th first thing, I'd say 10th first. Yeah, everyone's saying 10th first. Yeah, it is the right call. I sometimes question these things like, am I doing the right thing? But of course I am. I've done it a million times and I know full well that it's always 10th first. But I always think, should I just leave it? Then it's no. There's some lights night from the buildings. I'm not sure how much I'll have. There's definitely some LEDs over by a door that's just over here. So the very close corner, sort of pointing out towards the skips and the car park over there, there is a door, but I think it's like a fire door. Yeah, in fact there were two. Yeah, there were two fire exits there. Ooh, an alarm going off. Right, well, I'm gonna leave that. Up against that so I can see if hopefully if any stuff comes up. Getting anything spicy from Cassie? No, probably not spicy. I don't gel with spicy too much. I like a little bit of spice sometimes, but not with KFC. Just probably get some strips. Maybe I might get a bucket because I haven't had it for a long time. I might be really greedy and get like a bonus bucket or something. Like 4 people's worth of KFC. Have any of you guys done that? Got a whole bucket and just ate it to yourself? I definitely did that a lot when I was younger. Yeah, it's all just fire exits over this way. Right, so I want to try and be under the tree. And I need this to work around. So we're going to go that way. I'll put all this stuff where the foot end needs to be. Oh, don't step on the pegs. Right, I'm going to just tilt you guys up a bit, give you a better angle. I've got to start thinking about light as well. That's probably too much. There you go. I can see there's some messaging. I best read that. What we got? Is If it was £3.50, I'd be buying it. Yeah, 350 quid still though. That's still a lot of money. That's totally crooked. That is. Let me see if I can't get you guys less crooked. I don't know that I can. Oh wait, there we go. How's that? There we go. That's pretty good. I don't think I'll turn the light on quite yet. You guys can see quite well. You call me a big guy? Blimey. All right. I don't know if to take that as a compliment or not. But I'll take it. I'll take it as meant. Hopefully, it's yeah. I'm not a small guy. That's for sure. That's a sort of secondary reason for trying to get out and do these big missions and these adventures. Is I'd like to get in a little bit better shape. I don't need to be any bodybuilder kind of looking guy, but I definitely would like to be a bit healthier. Right, so my head end needs to be there. Oh, I'm miles. Oh, I've done this totally wrong. I'm the wrong side of this entirely. Let me put you guys over here. Try to get you into the grassy bit there. There we go. Right. Oops, that's not good. Good, don't cancel it. Oh, sorry guys. This is not the best place to put a camera or a phone, I should say. All right. Okay, let's try somewhere else. It's all going wrong. It's all gone Pete Tong. Oh, that's better. Oh, there we go. And I'm now on a wrong. What's going on there? Go back to there. There we go. Sorry, head down and all that. See you, Bean. You take care, man. Right, there we go. I think I'm in a better place there. There we go. Right, have I lost all my pegs now? Oh, it's going very pear-shaped at the moment. All my pegs. What do I do with them? Hopefully they're all on there. Right. So I'm aiming for that to be there. Okay. So hopefully the ground is good for pegs. That's the next thing I'm going to find out, isn't it? How the peg's going to work. Right. Yeah, that's actually pretty flat. If I can get that right in there, that's actually going to be good. All right. Sorry to have my back to the camera, guys. I just need to. I'm hoping this one goes in. That's a bit solid ground, but I've got it in. Whew. Right. So I'll find out whether I'm actually under the tree or not, but you can always do a few small adjustments if needed. Oh. Oh, that ground is pretty solid. Right, hopefully you guys can see. I'll just turn these lights. I don't know if they're going to make any difference, but yeah, it might have made a little difference. There you go. A little bit of lighting. So I've got 4 corners in. I won't put the last one in until I've checked that I've actually got the right line for this. So here's where we find out if the magic's going to happen or not. I'm right in the tree, or in the bush, sorry, I should say. Let's see. Is that going to... Oh yeah, that's good. I'm pretty confident that's in the right space. Right. Let's get the last one over here. Now it's really sheltered conditions, so I'm really not worried about. Oh god. Yeah, I'm not too worried about needing to stake out the extra lines to get more space and room. This is already going to feel like a palace after what I've been sleeping in on the stealth camping across England stuff. Oh, that was what have I got a peg out for? I'm not going to tie this to a peg, am I? Right. Now, I haven't done this bit for a while. This is going to be interesting. And that didn't stay. Okay. Be like that then. Right, I need to actually tie this. A little bit of a slip knot going on here, hopefully. Or not, as it doesn't want to allow it. God, don't be like this. Come on. Well, it's giving me grief. Sorry if you guys can't really see what's going on here, but this thing is giving me some proper headache. Right, I'm going to just do it down here. Yeah, sorry guys, that's not the best footage there, but it's not a lot going on other than me just struggling to tie a slip knot onto a tiny little bit. This is like some really thin paracord. That is probably not worked, but we'll see. No, that's not worked out at all. I'll try something. Oh, it's just pulling on it the whole time. Right, let's try that again. And now it's caught on it, like it doesn't want to go anywhere. Oh, right, it's been a pig. Oh, sorry guys. Doesn't help. I'm starting to be able to not see what I'm doing. What's that guy doing to that ghost? Oh dear. That probably did look dodgy. Oh dear. All right. So, oh, you can see the struggles I have sometimes when I haven't used a bit of kit for a while. Like, I don't really use this line that much, and it's a tiny, tiny line. It's just one of the mistakes I made going with a bit of like ultralight line, and I should have just gone with a proper bit. It would have been much easier. And I keep meaning to replace it, and I just haven't. So what I'll do, I'll quickly shift you guys upwards so you can see me fiddling around with the tree. There you go. Also, a little bit of extra light might actually help. Let's try not to crush my pegs. Right, so let's try this again. Right, so right, a bit of a pig. So I'm going to hold it with one hand. I'm going to hold like the branch down with one hand while trying to hold both sides of the line. And the line is very awkward. I can't even see it. Oh, come on. Don't disappear. Just stay where I can see you, please. Right. Yeah, this stuff does not like to go into a slip knot properly, but that's what I need. I don't know a huge amount of knots, but Slipknot is one that I do know. But I'm not very practiced at, as you can tell. It's not easy doing it above your head. While the tree's trying to pull it out your hand. Come on. Let me. I can't sit, I'll let it go. Oh, I can't hold it everything at the same time. Oh, my arms are numb. Right. Just don't be this awkward. Come on. I'm going to give it one more try and then I'm going to give up and do something else. This is annoying. Right. I'm going to try and do it lower down. Doesn't need to be that far up. Right, so in there. Oh, god damn, my hand's getting so numb. Blood flow. Come on. Come on. I got it this time. Maybe. We've got the slipknot part of it done. Just got to get it on the right bit of the branch now. And get it tightened up so it doesn't want to move. Oh, all right, I think we're there. That's pretty good. Okay, so I've pulled one peg out. Right. So I've pulled one peg out and there we go. Let's see. I'll get another light on. You guys can't see a thing, can you? Right. Right. Let's bring everything around for now. And then grab a light. Right. I'm going to put one in the tent, which helps light things there. And I'll get one. I don't know if I can put this above me. And that might be a bit of a... Nah, people will see that. Can't put anything above about this sort of height, really. If I go above the hedge, it'll just be visible. But I can potentially put it on the hedge. Let's see. Is there a thick enough branch in here? Well, that's not too bad. Right. So there's a peg in the ground here somewhere, or has it been pulled out? I don't like losing pegs. Where would it be? Did I do that one? I assume I put that one in. Maybe I didn't put that one in. Am I that silly? Maybe I didn't. No, there's a hole. Yeah, it pulled out of a hole. Ah, so this bit's in soft ground. The rest was in harder ground. This is in soft. So I'm down a peg. I don't like losing pegs, so I will be looking for that in the morning. Ooh, that's a bit annoying. Well, that's pretty sturdy, best. I wouldn't want it to take loads of weight from a lot of rain, but I think it'll be all right for that. This has been a lot more faff than it normally is, I'll be honest. I normally set this tent up a lot quicker than this. All right. As easy as this, just get that in position. There we have it. It's a good job I always bring one extra peg, and to be honest, I'm not using all the pegs I normally would anyway, although I seem to be down some because I've only got 2 left. Oh, I've dropped pegs everywhere, haven't I? Oh, this is not good. I wouldn't mind just having this one pegged. Where did that peg go? Oh, we want that up as well. Oh, well. Actually, no, I'm just not going to peg that one. I'm not going to peg that one. Right. Just need to do the ends now. So I'll give you a bit of a look. The sorry, I just went quiet for a second. I heard noise over there. I don't know if it's an animal or somebody pushing through some bushes over there. My night vision's a bit compromised because of all the lights for filming. No, I think it was just an animal. That's all right. And then just over here, excuse me, if you can see, I just need to get this end up. That's it. I just need a little stick for in there. And then the tent will be a bit loose, but I've had it worse than that. I've got to go look at this. There's a noise over here. A lot of rustling going on. Yeah, it's definitely the other side of the river. It's weird. It sounds like footsteps through the stuff. It's like a shoom, shoom, shoom. But it's just an animal pushing around in the brush, I think. Maybe scavenging for some food. Right, so we just need a little stick now. That's worked all right. Didn't need to cut a stick for that, but you can see why I prefer to cut a stick. Fussing around trying to tie that thing up to a tree. It's okay if I've got like a big branch, then it doesn't take much effort at all. I did that at, I think the last time I might have done that actually was, oh, cats. Yeah, the last time I did that, tied the point to a tree rather than using a stick, I think was maybe the stealth camp on the abandoned golf course. That may well be the last time I did that. Right, I don't know if that's twig's strong enough. Ah, there's a twig on the floor here. Hold on. Ah, pay that. That will do the job. I just need to cut that. Excellent. Yeah, it's not as dark out here as the camera would tell you. It's not that bad. Right, I'm going to put you guys in this corner and lay you down a little bit and hope that that's a good enough angle. Sorry if it's a bit close. Right, nearly done. Then we can go get some food and chillax. So I don't remember how long this needs to be, but about it's got to be less than that. Right. Yeah, we're looking at about there. So now I've got my mark. Just needs, oh, there's 2 more pegs. Oh, I did have more pegs. There you go. Right. Get my saw out. Cut that on the mark. Actually, a little bit above. I can also push it in the ground a little bit sometimes. There you go. Oh, it's got a little nodule on the end. Job done. Yeah, I'd rather carry a little saw like that than a big pole. Ah, another peg. I went to 4 spares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got all the pegs. I don't know how that's happened. Maybe I took the peg out. I don't know. I honestly don't know. No, this goes inside of here. That's it. There we go. Right, I don't know if you guys can even see that. I'll lower it down even more. There we go. Yeah, so just put the pole inside there. Just going to lengthen this out a little bit. It's as easy as putting the peg in the ground. These pegs are so good. Right, tighten that up. Yeah, I wouldn't call that taut, but that'll do. There you go. That's the tent done. Right, I don't know if I can really show you guys me and the tent at the same time. Let's see what we can do. Problem is this long grass over here makes for a falling down camera. Right, hopefully that'll give me a chance. So yeah. There we go. There we go. Okie dokie. Try to get as much usable light as I can in here. Right. Okie dokes. Just bring in the sit mat so I can kneel down as I work. There we go. Let's do that. Right. Yeah, that's really good actually. I think no one can see my lights from down the other way, so I'm actually pretty secure here. Right. It's getting a bit cool. It's time to put the fleece on. There we go. Oh, sorry guys. I'm going to put you back over here now. I do apologise. It's been awful camera work, isn't it? Is it my imagination, or does that look black and white? Have I done something? Normal. I changed something. Sorry, guys. I don't know how long that was on there like that for. Right. I've got all sorts of weird things coming up on the screen now. Sorry about my thumb being in the way, guys. Right. Everyone's had to go. Sorry, guys. This is taking so long, isn't it? Oh, Yoast is Yoast in here? Hey. If you're still in, Yoast, hi there. Right, yeah, I've not got anything on the floor here. That's good. Right, that might be the best spot really for the cam at the moment. Right, put this back here. Hopefully that doesn't blow out anything, but it lights me up. There we go. I'm going to move this. Right, I can. Oh, nearly taken out my own tent. Put that there. Right, hopefully that's lit everything up. There we go. Jobs are good. So just need the last tent peg for here. Normally I'll just put the pole through this one and it holds it down, but as I don't have a pole, it gets a tent peg just to... Oh, wow, some of them pegs are in, like properly in. So there we have it. Home sweet home. I'll get my mat blown up as well. As everyone rightly said, it's just good to have everything done and out of the way, get the admin all sorted, and then it's job done. Plus a bit of dew, a bit of condensation is starting to form on some gear, so I want to get it in and under. The bags in here. It's all right. Trying to keep all the gear together a little bit. Get the bag of swag just there. Start trying to organise things a bit now. Right, there we go. Loads of light. There we go. Right. What I'll do, I might just check the comments for a bit, because obviously I've left you guys in the lurch for a little while there. So let's see what we've got. Yeah, a few people have gone, so I've obviously missed them. But yeah, there we go. If you guys watch this later, sorry I didn't say goodbye. Obviously I was a bit preoccupied. It looked vivid, did it? That was a weird thing. I don't know how it changed. It must have, as it landed on the wet grass or whatever. I don't know, because it's not really that wet, but obviously, you know, it's as wet as a finger is, I suppose. It's going to be a warm night. Yeah, it's going to be a nice warm night actually. So I can be pretty. Can you tell me the gear I'm using? 10. So yeah, that's a good question. I'm not going to try and pronounce that name. I do apologise. Yeah, I'm not going to get that at all. But it's a good question. What gear am I using? So all of it's pretty old, to be fair. It's not new gear. I've been using this gear for a long time. The Thermarest mat that I'm using is super old, but I can firmly recommend that any Thermarest mat that is going to have a good long life to it, especially if you get the quality stuff. The tent is a 3F ultralight, so it's a really cheap one I got from AliExpress. If you don't know what AliExpress is, that's a Chinese like site, a bit like Amazon, but Chinese, and they sell like really cheap stuff. And of course, I don't condone the really dodgy work stuff and all that goes over at China, but at the end of the day, I don't have a lot of money. They sell cheap gear. I just hope they don't have loads of little kiddies building tents as well. I'd like to think potentially they're just using similar manufacturing processes that any other country would do, but I have no idea. So yeah, I don't want to start up a big conversation about that. But yeah, so 3F ultralight, and they're still about. They still produce tents. I think Tim might use one from the same people. I'm not sure, but yeah, this thing's seen me through a lot of times. I chose this tent because it's basically really easy to put up, albeit it didn't seem like that tonight. But let's face it, the only thing I was really struggling with was a silly knot in a tree, which I shouldn't need to be doing. This tent's designed to have a like a walking pole or walking stick, and just put that up in there. It didn't actually come with a pole, because that's what it's designed to do. You're supposed to have a walking pole and use that. But it did come with a little pole for the end. But to be honest, any old stick does for that. As you just saw, that was a pretty quick process. Normally it takes me a few minutes to locate a pole if I'm in the woods and cut it. Anyone who saw the McDonald's stealth camp will have seen I was a bit savvy on that one. I saved the poles from my last live camp and stashed them in Biggleswade, because I wasn't that far away from it, and I knew I wanted to do like an urban one in Biggleswade. And so I was like, yeah, let's be savvy, and rather than worry about cutting another new pole, when I was walking to the train station, I just stashed it, and that was quite good. So that all it was to walk over the road to go collect it. That didn't take much time at all, so I was really pleased with that. But this thing's seen me through so much stuff. I've gone through storm, like proper storm conditions in Snowdonia in Wales. That's a story and a half, that one is. I might tell you guys that story. If anyone's interested in hearing the story how me and Noah were inches from death in Snowdonia. I don't know if I've told any of you it yet or if I've mentioned it. But yeah, that's a crazy story. That's probably my craziest story I have, is what me and Noah did over in Wales when we were a lot younger. I was very much into scrambling. Oh, that'll do it then. Sorted. All right. Here's okay. What is that? Where's my? Oh, it's right at the end. There it is. There we go. Just get all my gear in the right place. There we go. Right. So I'll just do a quick peg count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes. I have all my pegs. Keeping a count is a good idea. Losing pegs is an absolute pain. Right, so I seem to have everything in there. All right, okay. Yeah. Jobs are good. Everything is sorted. Everything is sweet. So I think I'll keep the camera where it is. I think that's a good enough angle for you guys. Just gonna give this a quick little top up. Just like anything, when you've blown it up with your breath, it has a tendency to go down when it gets cooler. Oh yeah, that's pretty comfortable actually. So let's have a little chit chat. Oh, that's a pretty good shot, isn't it? Let's have a little look. Well, you guys are all chatting between yourselves. That's good. All right. Hopefully, I gave you enough info on the gear. So yeah, Thermarest mat, the 3F Ultralight. I don't know what it's called, but they probably don't even sell it anymore. But it's something cheap and cheerful. I think it was about 50, 60 quid. Oh, it's the tree. I thought something was going down then, but it was just the sound of the tree. Yeah, and the last thing is my sleeping quilt. This I bought from a company in America and is my really expensive bit of kit, but it was worth every penny. This thing is absolutely brilliant. It's so lightweight, it's so small, but yet it keeps me so warm. It's absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, just get that in there. That'll do. So, yeah, that's it. That's the gear. That's the kit. Right, let's turn the light off on this thing. I don't think you guys need to have this. I don't think this is really helping. All right. So, yeah, it's nearly 10 o'clock, so it's definitely time to get over to KFC. I've got an hour before they close. Noise coming from that building then. I guess some automatic kind of thing clicking on. Oh, it says power, so yeah. Yeah, there must be some sort of brake or something in there, I don't know. Yeah, it's, yeah, I think there's electrical power in there. All right, so let's look at that. It's going to be a warm night. back from camping up at Loch Lomond. It's beautiful. Oh man, I'm quite jealous of you guys up in Scotland. You guys have got some lovely country up there for camping. Admittedly cold, but you know, you take the right gear, you're good enough. And preferably somewhere in Canada, not so England. Yeah, I tell you, kayak camping is something I've been wanting to do for years. Me and Noah have talked about it a few times, just like getting a couple of cheap kayaks off eBay and just trying to like head like down a river or something. And something I saw on YouTube, I don't know if any of you guys have seen the Source to Sea video by Ed Pratt, but I highly recommend it. It was a good watch. And Ed Pratt's like me, when he does like an adventure or a mission or whatever, he carries everything on his back and he does it all solo. He's not like some of these guys who have got all the support crews with them and stuff like that. He decided to try to follow the River Parrot all the way from its source to the sea, and he did a terrible job. In all fairness, he left the river pretty quick, and he wasn't on the river the whole time. The Fieldhouse lads did a redo of it with support crew. I will point out, but they managed to sort of stay in the river and or over the river a lot better, and they did a lot sort of braver job, let's call it, of sticking to the river. But he was carrying everything on his back, and that's kind of like how I like to do things. But anyway, me and Noah were thinking about doing something. When I saw that, I thought to myself, oh, I'd love to do that, and that might be something I do. I might do a Source to Sea on a river at some point and try to do it like in a proper kayak and just do the best that I can. I don't know, I'd do it like the Fieldhouse lads, where I'm staying like in or over the river the whole time. I'd do it somewhere between them and Ed, where I'd do a better job of staying on the river. But I just don't understand why he took an inflatable kayak. That was nuts. I'm like, just take a cheap, proper kayak that you can drag along the floor and won't get damaged. And he was so freaked out that this thing was going to puncture all the time. It cost him so badly that he just wouldn't get in the kayak, and it was such a hassle to put up and down. I was like, just drag it down the river for a bit, it'd be fine. But you know, it's what you do. Go on, Alan. I don't know what you're referring to, Bodger the Badger. Are you referring to the story about Wales? If so, just give me a yeah in the comments, and I'll tell you that story. It is a crazy story, to be fair. I mean, it's not a long one, but it's a bit nuts. I'll tell you a bit more about what I used to do when I was a younger man. But I might still do, actually. I would like to go off and redo the adventure that we did, but do it properly, because we chickened out on a couple of things, and I think with more experience now, we even said at the time we've chickened out, we should have done a better job. But yeah, no. So yeah, so I think I've covered all the stuff that I've seen. But yeah, I think one of the things that stops me with the kayaking is that I'm not massively experienced with it. I don't know if any of you guys are experienced, but that any of you other YouTubers, if you're experienced with kayaks and you want to do a collab with it, let me know. My email's on the channel somewhere on the bio. That's yeah, that would be a pretty cool thing. Just like do a really long trip, like, you know, good, like, I don't know if you'd want to do a whole week, but like at least a few days or something. That'd be awesome. Right, well, I best go and get some food. We've done enough messing about around here. Yep, I think I've covered all of the messages. So you've seen me fumbling around with my tent long enough. I'm going to switch all these lights off, put everything in the tent, and hope that no one nicks anything while I'm gone. I need to get some dosh. I know I've put it on the other somewhere. Yeah, there it is. All right, leave them there. Don't think I need any of that right now. All right. Thankfully, I shouldn't need a light or anything to find my way back. That's quite a bonus, really. There's enough ambient light for me to see. There's just not enough for filming. That's a bit of a weird thing when filming, really. I'm going to leave this here, but hide it underneath the mat. Don't need that either. There we go. There we go. So just mess about with this a little bit. Sorry for the bumpiness. Right, we're going for about an hour and a half, so yeah, not too shabby, I guess. Spent a lot of time chit-chatting. So you probably can't even see, yeah, literally on the camera, it doesn't really come up at all, but yeah, you can't, like the tent is literally just here and you can't see it at all. Would I attempt a roundabout stealth camp? Yes, that is on the list of things to do. I definitely want to give that a shot. Every time I see a roundabout that I think is viable, I give it a little look. I spotted one at Biggles. Oh, I best check my battery, make sure. Oh, I've got 27%. Yeah, that's enough. That should be enough to last for a while. I don't want to like run out of battery in the middle of KFC. Oh dear. Right. So yeah, as you can see, that is proper dark down there. That's that light there is obviously just like it's in the tree pretty much, but it's on the side of the car park. So where I am, it's pitch dark. I'm not kidding you. I'm not even I'm about halfway. Yeah, I'm halfway between the road and the bus stop and to the tent, and I can't see the tent. Yeah, that is invisible. That's brilliant. And then I suppose as I come around here, I'm not even, yeah, I've lost line of sight of it now even. So yeah, that's an interesting one. Right. I'm just trying to get out of here without being spotted by too many people. Or if anyone, hopefully. There's a guy just walking over there with it looks like a baby, but I'm not sure it's a baby. That would be weird. Right, I'm going to just move my mic. The mic's in a bad place for sound, so excuse the sound as I move this. There we go. Gravy? Oh, no. No gravy, thank you very much. Oh, there's a dude over there. I'm going to turn this around so you can see what I'm looking at now. There you go. There's a dude on the ladder over there. I'll show you him in a second. Just climb this fence. Oh. Yeah, that. That's a weird time of night to be doing that kind of work. And there you go. So I'm going to turn these lights off now. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Excuse the kind of blowing out of the image by the lights, but hopefully the image is good enough. My rear camera has seen better days, I'm going to be honest. Right. So, a quick question, you guys, shall I call it here, or do you want to stay with me while I go get my food? Because I'll go back with the food, but I don't know if you really want to still chit chat with me while I'm eating my dinner. So, quick show of. Let me turn this around. Oh, so I'm just a guy at KFC now, just looking totally normal with my phone in my hand. So, quick show of yes and no's. Who wants me to keep streaming, and who wants to just call it here? You want the full KFC experience, do you? Oh dear. Oh dearie me. Well, that's 2 of you said something. Anyone else? Or is that it? Is that all the votes we get? Because that means you guys are staying with me through KFC. Oh, Bodger the Badger, I just see a yes. Is that yes to KFC or yes to me telling you the story from earlier? You've got to put more than a yes in there now. That's been a long time ago, so I don't know. But I'm assuming you mean for the current thing. You will so regret this. Regret what? Going into KFC? All right, so everyone's saying yes. All right then, so we're gonna film in KFC. All right, go on then. You crazy people. Right, it's weird doing this on my phone though. My phone. Oh, hold on. Have they closed? Oh, is it drive-through only? Oh no. Don't tell me that's drive-through only. Jesus. I guess I can go to the window and order them. I guess I'm not going in. Are they open? Frick. Well, that's a problem. It said on Google they were open. I'm going to be without a proper dinner if they're not open. Ooh, that's going to be very disappointing. Right. I don't know how this is going to handle me going to another app, but I'm going to go to another app and just check this stuff out. Maybe I don't know. Surely, I'm going to see if someone pulls up and if they order at the. Yeah, there is Burger King, but they might be in the same situation. I'm just gonna see if so a person's just gone through. I'm wondering if they're going to the drive-through. Can I order through the drive-through on foot? That's an interesting one. I guess probably. I'm going to go round. I guess it's drive-through only at this point. That's what I have to figure, which is not a problem, but you don't get the full experience. But you do get me seeing if I can order through this. Right, let's have a look at the menu. Oh, there's a guy out here. I'm going to ask him. Oh, mate, I wanted to go in and order something, but I guess you guys are only drive-through at the moment? Yeah, can I order at the drive-through? Do I need to be in a car? I need to be in a car, do I? Can I not just order at the window? Really? We don't take orders at the window. But can I not just order there? Do I need to actually be in a vehicle? It takes a vehicle, so... Can you not just like... What's that? I'm not sure. I can ask. Yeah, I'll see if because I'm not going to get any dinner. So. Am I able to order? Well, I don't know if anyone's going to let me order or not, but I can only ask. That's so random. Why would you have it only drive-through only? That's weird. Why can't I order? I can always ask somebody in a car to order for me, I guess. That's a possibility. Man, the problems tonight. It's just everything going on. What on earth? I'm not going to give up on the KFC, not yet. I'm not recording me, mate. I'm not recording you. I'm filming myself. I'm just a bit sick. Yeah, can I just order? The restaurant's closed. There's only drive-through. Yes, I mean, if you've got a car, come on the drive-through. I haven't got a car with me. That's the thing. I'm on bike. I'm on a push bike. A push bike. Push bike. If you want, you're not allowed to take orders. Before I can take. I mean, I've got. Just go around to the window after these cars. Yeah. I take your order. There's no problem. Yeah, you cool? Sure yeah. We're recording. No, that's recording me. You can have a look. It's just my face on there. So yeah. Yeah, so I've got cash, so yeah, that's good. There's no problem. Yeah. It's just that normally we don't take on cars, or we don't take anything without cars. Yeah, that's fair play. I appreciate
how many cars we get on the drive-through. It's got a sensor, the whole drive-through.
Ah, I see. That's why
normally if you come on, it won't detect that you're even here.
Yeah.
Because you're not a car.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I wasn't sure. I didn't realize you.
Because we close the restaurant at 10 o'clock.
Ah.
11 o'clock.
Ah, see, I didn't know that. You see, I just saw online it was 11, and I thought I was all right. So.
Yeah. No problem. Just let these cars go.
Yeah.
After these cars are going, just walk around to the window. There's no problem.
Oh, appreciate it, man.
If there's anything, just let me know.
Oh, brilliant. Cheers. Thank you. There we go. Sorted. Oh, dear. Some guy with a proper bit of brains. I love that. Shout out to the guy who runs the KFC here. Right, so what am I going to have? Original chicken, 4 fries. That's probably a bargain bucket. No. What do I want? Bonus banquet, 3 minutes. Yeah, get that. What do I get? Wicked right bucket. Don't really want that. Oh, dear me. Mighty bucket for 1, 2-piece original, 2 fillets, 2 ones. I'm gonna get. I don't know what I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get. Probably get a bonus. That looks good. I want some original though as well. Bargain bucket. Can just get a bargain bucket. We'll see. Bonus maybe. All right, they're going to let me order. The most random thing to do on the stealth car. Once the car's gone. Oh, mate, chap said I could order?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's fine. Because I was in source, I had to double check.
No, I appreciate you checking, man. That's really solid of you.
Sir?
I just wanted, like, what kind of bucket do you have that's got, like, some, like, boneless and some original in it?
We do,
like, some strips and some original,
we do a
basically.
bucket with 6-piece chicken,
Yeah.
4 mini fillet, 8 whole wings, and 4 fries. That's our bucket.
Okay, how much is that?
That's $19.99.
Yeah, give me that. And what you got for drink? You got like a.
Can you do a bottle?
Yeah, what you got?
£2 for £2. And for 1 cup, that's
give me a bottle of orange stuff.
Tango.
Yeah, Tango will do. That's good. There you go.
That's $21.98. Yeah, sorry about that because I was.
No, I appreciate you even like talking to me, mate. To be honest, I thought I was going to be totally stuffed there. I should have checked on the website, make sure it was open.
No, it's okay.
I thought it was 11. There you go.
Thank you. Vlogging?
Yeah.
There you go, sir.
Nice one. Cheers. Appreciate it.
Just a couple of minutes,
Yeah, is it here?
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Cheers. Nice one. There we go. Job done. Not much of a KFC experience for you guys, but there you go. He's got in to get my order. Some good guys though. Good guys. You got to be. You got to appreciate when someone's willing to break the rules to sort you out. Some people get a bit stickler about that and don't want to break rules. They're like, oh no, this is not policy. I hate people to do that. Yeah, I guess one of the things is if you're walking around on a bit where the cars are, there's health and safety. But I mean, who's actually getting run over on the drive-through bit? Well, I've ordered a massive bucket of stuff. It's the start. I've just gone, yeah. He's just given me something that's probably far too big for me, but there you go. I'll eat what I can eat. It's been so long since I've had a KFC. It's just got to be done. The last thing I want to do is be short and be like, oh, I could have done with a bit more. If I'm not absolutely stuffed by the end of the meal, it's going to be a disappointment. So, got a big drink as well. We got a bottle, but why not? I don't have another drink with me, so. Oh dear, just got to hang around now. Yeah, I got to respect them, man. I've got to respect. They chicken burger, eh? Yeah, I see that. My wife likes the chicken burgers. I'm not really that keen on all the fillings and all that. I don't do sauces and salads and stuff. I like the meat and the chips. That's it. Meat and chips. I'm sure they're curious what I'm up to. I'm gonna have to not do a direct route back to the campsite. I don't want to go around the building because if there is security, they're probably quite live and active now in terms of watching on the cameras. But yeah, I'm being careful not to record these guys. I don't want to upset anyone. Chicken bones for the foxes. Is that good for them, or is it bad for them? I'm no expert on nature and animals, to be fair. There we go. Someone else got their order already. I kind of wanted a bucket or something as well. I didn't need to get something as big as a bucket, but I mean, is it KFC if you've not got a bucket? Yeah, it's not KFC if you don't have a bucket, surely. That's just, yeah, you've got to have a bucket. I mean, I think it's something I used to do at university in Brighton. I would sometimes go and get a KFC in the evening, but oh, he's got my stuff ready. There you go. No, I'm good for that. Thanks. Cheers. Thank you. You too, man. Thanks again. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, but you don't want to see my video, so tell me. I do camping and stuff like that mostly. Just camping and an event and like walking across country and stuff like that. So yeah.
That's what I was thinking. You making because you doing this thing.
Yeah. Just checking myself. I won't tell you. I won't say there's no. I can't tell you that at the moment. But, well, because there's a good reason. But next time I'm here, I'll give you. I'll tell you then. Okay. Yeah, I can't tell someone what I'm up to. I'm doing this. Oh dear. They're curious. They want to know what I'm up to. Last thing you do is tell the people around the spot where you're stealth camping that you're that you are live streaming what you're doing. They might be trying to find me now on YouTube, but I'm like, I hope they don't find me and figure out what the Christ I'm doing. I'll have some visitors. Oh dear. Good guys though, good guys. Right. So I'm going to go over to the bus stop and hope that none of them watch me climb over the fence in a little bit. I'm just going to make sure I've covered my tracks a little bit. So to the bus stop it is. Now I wasn't fibbing. I do not have a car with me. I cycled here because I'm good like that. When I've got a chance to cycle, I do. And I wasn't carrying a massive bag, so I figured why not bike? So my bike's stashed over on one of the bike racks here somewhere. Ooh, right, back to the bus stop, to safety. I don't know why bus stops always feel like safety to me, but they do. So, big bottle of Tango and an absolutely massive bag of chicken. So I guess has my, yep, so I've got a big bucket and I guess a bag of fries. Oh no, more chicken. Oh, that's the bit that I probably won't have. That's the hot wings, which, I mean, I might have a few hot wings actually, I don't know. I don't particularly like them. Like, they're not like my favourite, but I don't know that I dislike them either. So, I'm just gonna put that on the chair next to me for a bit. Right. So I'm just going to have a chill for a minute. Let them guys forget about me. Make sure there's no cars coming across. And then I'm going to make a break for it. Right. So, yeah, for anyone, people who haven't been watching for like the last, sorry, for anyone who's only been watching for the last like 10 minutes or however long it took me to get the KFC, I'm back over that way. I need to get there pretty promptly. Yeah, if those guys do a YouTube search and find me, which is quite unlikely, let's face it. I'm not a big channel. I couldn't do that if I was a big channel at all, because they'd figure it out. And the last thing I want to do is be found by some random guys who, like, I don't know them from Adam. They seem pretty solid guys, so they seemed pretty okay. But yeah, I couldn't tell them my channel handle, because then all they have to do is watch this video and or the little sort of recce from earlier, and they'd know exactly what I'm doing and where I am. And that wouldn't be a good thing. I don't know. I don't think I have. If I have, I'll have some. I don't think it came with baked beans, but maybe it did. Maybe there's some sides in here. We'll find out in a little bit. We'll have a good look through. Right, I think that's enough time. And I'm going to put the bottle underneath my arm. I'm going to spin the camera because I can't point this at my face while I do this. I'm going to just come out of the bus stop here and just wait for that car to go. And then keep my eyes peeled. Yeah, none of them are over this side. They've likely forgotten all about me. So off I go. Nice and quick. Just keeping my eyes peeled. I'll try and do this without castrating myself and without taking too long. Right, there we go. Duck down a little bit. Yeah, I think I'm safe. Sweet. Right. I won't put any lights on at the moment. So as we get to the tent, it's going to be a bit dark. I do apologise. I'm going to have to get this phone on charge pretty quick. Yeah, so I don't even have line of sight yet of the tent. I'd like to be able to duck down, but I've got so much stuff in my arms, I can't kind of duck and move. Yeah, I can just make out the tent from this sort of distance, but only just if I'm looking for it. I am completely invisible from over there. That's pretty cool. So here we go. Still no activity in the car park beside me, and nothing over the other side of the river either. So a lot of beeping going on over there. That's a moped or something. Right. Let's turn a light on. All right, there we go. Night lighty type stuff on. Right. I'm gonna put you guys near the tent, and I'm going to set this side of the thing with the tent, I think, because I'm actually okay here with the lights. So just going to unzip the tent, get some of my gear and the other lights. Well, I've left the mesh open. That's not good. Need the mesh closed really. Right. Let's get some lights on. Okay. Hopefully that's okay. Yeah. And then that one there, nice and low. And there we have it. Put that on the floor. Make sure that's real fully blown up. Get rid of any nonsense behind there. Right. There we have it. I'm going to bring you a bit closer. I've learnt my lesson. Can't have you too far away. Right, okay. There up. There we go. Sorted. There we go. Well, if that's not the most random thing ever. A stealth camp at a retail park with KFC for dinner. That was so random. I can't believe they let me have the KFC. But this is a lesson. You don't get what you don't ask for. What the worst that happens is they say no. But as we've seen, they could say yes. Oh, I ain't had a tango for a while either. That's quite nice. So let's see what we got. So, yeah, big bag of hot wings, like a massive bag of hot wings. I'm guessing this is maybe like some boneless stuff. Some, oh no, this is the chips. There you go. Got some chips. Probably should have made sure they had salt in them, but. Oh, good. Now they're all right, they're pre-salted. That's good. And then, well, a massive wedge of napkins. What else we got in here then? And the required bucket of chicken. There we go. Nice, big bucket of chicken. So, let's see what we've got in here. Yep, I've got some strips, which is nice. I like strips. But I've also got some original. Oh yeah. All right, let me know what's your favourite bit. Drumstick, thigh or breast? I love a breast because you get a lot of meat. But a drumstick is very tasty. You get a lot of the coating, whatever you call that. Awesome. Oh, I should have got my other phone so I can see the comments. I do apologise. I'll go get that now. Oh. Right. There we go. Oh, I need to charge you guys up as well. You're probably about minutes away from having no power. This eats up the battery power like you wouldn't believe. Well, I'm sure you would actually. Yeah. Phone batteries are never as good as the phones themselves, are they? Let's face it. Right. Just put that in there. No, hopefully that's charging. Right. Yep. Oh, 11%. It's not messing about. 11%. Right. Try not to take my tent out at the same time. Right. Let's see what everyone's saying. Oh no, has it turned off the internet? I think it did. Oh, ow, that hurts. Hotspot. Oh. Whoa. So much to do when you just want to sit down and eat your food. Right. Well, excuse all the huffing and puffing. You can tell I'm really in shape. That was one of the interesting things. The idea behind me trying to cross the whole country in one go in 8 days was just me seeing what can I actually do, where are my limits, because you know, I'm not in any particularly good shape, it has to be said. Right, let's go to there. So no, the chat on there's got to be refreshed. There we go. Drumstick also, yeah, nice one. Right, let's have a little look. Brilliant walking through the drive-through. I'm more than sad. Cheers, guys. Oh, dear me. Oh, wow. So let's just go back. Right. Cool. All right, there we go. Merlo, MC Happy Camper. I'm going to say hello because I didn't even know you were in the chat. So great to see you. Step 3. I know what step 2 is. Everyone knows what a step 2 is, but what's a step 3? That's, I'm sure I should know what that is. You guys all drinking, are you? That's one thing I can't join you in. I don't actually drink. I I'm aware that probably hinders my my ability to do a good stealth count for some people. There's a lot of people who like all the drinking out there. I think Blot Outdoors is a good example of that. It's quite funny to watch him getting. I mean, what's the polite term? I don't think there's a polite term. But yeah, basically, that's kind of what he's known for. And Paul, bless him, he's kind of known for that. When we were on the collab, he actually fell asleep in his chair, in the chair, I should say, or let me do it properly. The chair. He fell asleep in the chair because he'd had a couple of drinks. I mean, all the other guys had, to be fair. I was the only one who wasn't drinking. But I also know he does nights, and that obviously makes it quite difficult for him with his sleep patterns. Yeah, I do like a hot chocolate, as you guys probably know by now. Get in there. THC. Yeah, yeah, I'm not one for drugs or alcohol, to be fair. I get my kicks in other ways. I've got no judgment for anybody else. You want to have a drink, you go right ahead. Yeah, you be you, you do you. That's fine with me. Absolutely no judgment. Some of my best times at uni were around all the guys having a lot of the stuff that I wasn't, and yeah, I'd just be caught up in the atmosphere, and it's just wasn't necessary for me to partake. So yeah, no judgment at all. All right, I'm not entirely sure who wants to sit here watching me eat, but we'll crack on for a bit. I don't want to bore you lot to death, but oh, original chicken. Oh, I can't explain that, but I can't express that, how that feels. Blimey, that is. Oh, that is good. Oh, it's been so long since I've had a proper KFC with the proper chicken. Oh. Now, you excuse me though, I'm a bit wasteful. I don't clear it to the bone. I mean, I've got no need to either. I've got like a whole family's worth of chicken here. That said though, I'm not done too badly. Oh, went straight for the drumstick. It was on top, honest. Oh, a bit of fine. Yeah. Addicted to eating. Yeah, that's definitely my addiction. Hence why I need a bucket. Can't not have a bucket of chicken. I grew up basically. My family was always about, you know, fill up your belly. If you haven't stuffed yourself, then you haven't had a proper meal. And it's kind of stayed with me. I'm a lot better with my boys. I teach them to just eat the right amount, and they're way healthier than me. I mean, to be honest, Ethan is absolutely ripped. He is just shredded. He's got muscles like for days, and yeah, he's got like proper like. I think he probably has got better than a 6-pack. He's got like an 8-pack. I mean, not like big muscles or anything. He's only young, but he's just like properly toned and properly healthy. And I'm like, I wish I could have had like, you know, a start like that. Instead, I'm wired to want to stuff my face until I can't eat anymore. And if I don't do that, I just don't feel like I've had a proper meal. But it's an awfully bad way to live. But there you go. It's I tried to balance it out by doing lots of hiking and being active. Well, that's good. So I enjoy watching you prepare your meals, but you deserve a rest now and then again. Too right, man. Too right. Can't cook every night. It gets a bit of a chore then. I do love not having to cook. It is odd though, just coming out without any like cooking gear at all. I was very tempted to bring my fire pit just so I could maybe do like a cooked breakfast or something. Like I could have bought some eggs or something and just done some poached eggs, but I really felt like not doing anything tonight and just having like a really easy one so I could actually chat with you guys. I don't always get to chat with you guys. Thank God they gave me lots of napkins. I'm going to go through napkins like you won't believe. Otherwise my phone will be just like stuff galore. Right. Came out. Wow, that's amazing. So you were around when it came out? Jeez, how long ago was that? Because I wouldn't even know, to be fair. I don't know anything about the history of KFC, other than obviously it probably comes from Kentucky. But I mean, to be honest, names can be misleading, so I wouldn't have even put money on that, to be honest. All right, let's have a little look. We'll go. Oh, another strip. I'll do that, man. I'll look up the history of old Colonel Sanders. It's I'm sure it makes for a good story. I mean, it's got to, really, hasn't it? I watched The Founder about McDonald's and the guy who sort of got the ball rolling on that. That was super interesting. Is it Michael Keaton? Is the guy who played? Yeah. Yeah, I think that's his name. I'm not good with actors' names, but did a fantastic job. That was a good film. And that was really interesting to find out how McDonald's started. I had no idea they just started with such a simple menu and how it grew from there. Oh, cook for his family. Yeah. I guess that's where a lot of people start. Oh, wow, I've got one of these things. Don't get one of these often. It's got like, I'm not sure what you call this. I think this is like maybe like a half breast with like a bit of some sort of rib cagey bit on it. This is always a good bit. Tesco was a barrow, I think. What do you mean a barrow? That's confusing. I'm not sure what that means. Yeah, I was only talking about McDonald's because you were talking about the history of Colonel Sanders, and it got me thinking about the movie about McDonald's. But they should probably do one about all the guys who started up these big companies, because I bet they've all got great stories. That was the point I was making anyway. It just yeah, there's some awesome like histories and stories out there that we just don't know about. That's one of the things I love about that kind of movie, just finding out about how things originated and how they got started. And just the concept of the original McDonald's, it's just insanely good. What on earth is Sparker talking about? What's this? Tesco was a barrow, I think, maybe a corner shop. What? I'm certainly missing some of these. I'm just at loss. Capitalism, good thing. That's a big thing, isn't it? Really. I don't think there's such a thing as good or bad with any of that sort of stuff. Capitalism and all the other categories of things that you can break in that. Humans make it of what they will. Greed is a bad thing, that's for sure. And the trouble with capitalism and a lot of other ways to do things is greed kind of like ends up creating lots of bad sort of parts. At the end of the day, government's often trying to put stuff in place that makes it seem like it's going to be fair and try to stop people from being too greedy, stop monopolies and people hiking prices too much and that. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's a bit lip service. They could do a lot more. And I think that's the thing. I think with regulation, I think capitalism probably will work a bit better, just to try to stop people from being greedy. It's hard to stop people being greedy, but you've got to do what you can do. But that's the thing that causes most things to not work properly, is people being greedy. I was talking about this sort of subject was I can't remember who it was. It might have been my wife. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. The tango's got me burping a bit. Yeah. The problem with a lot of systems and structures that we go by is actually that people misunderstand how things work. So people talk about capitalism meaning that you can have competition, and competition is good because it brings down prices and it creates ingenuity, and people like invent new things and stuff like that. But the issue is you'd actually be better off working together. It's been proven mathematically with a lot of things. With there's essentially when you have people or entities working together rather than against each other, it always promotes more advancement, and that can get, like, as long as you don't have people being greedy, but they're actually working together and for common good, that's the best way and the fastest way to move forward and to get things cheaper and to get things better and improved. But the issue is you can't get, like, as soon as one person's not working together with everyone else and they start to be greedy or try to have their own way with it, then it all falls apart. It only works if everybody's working together and for the right goal and for the common good, essentially. But because it's hard and it's almost impossible to get everyone to work under that premise, the second best is things like capitalism with their what do you call it, your competition and your stuff like that. But in reality, I mean, who knows what does and doesn't work? I mean, I'm no expert. But the stories are good. I love a good story. Let's have a look. Ah, your family's from here, is it? Ah. So MC Happy Camper, you say your family's from here, but where are you? Where do you live now? Are you I'm guessing another country, but yeah, so sorry, it takes me a while to read some of these. Something like that. Yeah, you're right about that, Sparker. The lack of limits is a problem. It allows for the greed, that's for sure. It's interesting. If I lived in a place where I struggle to get food, then I wouldn't be so unhealthy. But because I've got no limit on how much food I can get hold of, it's very hard for me to limit myself. Human nature, greed, innit? Nobody is immune, including me. What about the outdoors do I love the best? That is a great question. There's a lot of things. I'll have to run through them and then make a choice. And now, take for instance my recent trip, which you'll see the first video of next week. That was the longest I've spent outdoors. Just like, I was just outdoors the entire time, other than when I was going into pubs to get water. And I really noticed it then, actually, the contrast between being out in the sort of the great outdoors, if you like, in nature, and being like in like a busy environment with people. The difference and how I felt was massive. What creates the feeling is hard to say, but I know that basically when I'm outdoors and I'm sort of when I'm on my own, because that was the thing as well, I was on my own a lot. That was a very solo thing. No one joined me for one day, but the rest of it was all on my own. The being on my own, the being in nature, and not having a huge amount of like stuff weighing on my head. It's just me, and you know, just getting walking done and camping done. Obviously, a bit of filming, but as you guys know, I don't mind the filming. The filming's not really the worst thing. I have a setup that makes that pretty easy. It's the editing afterwards where it's a lot of work. I think I'm done with that bit. Have I got any more drumsticks? I've got this little bit. Yeah, but I'd say it's the feeling I get, and just sort of it de-stresses my mind. And I think that's a combination of everything, just like the being out in nature. That's obviously been shown, like, you know, fresh air, nature, and that sort of thing helps. But just being on my own and just having nothing but walking to focus on, and just enjoying views, and just, it's all quite positive, and there's nothing to try to drag me down, nothing making me feel like there's, you know, stuff to do and weight on my shoulders. And so I get really de-stressed, and I love that when I'm out. Like this is really like low stress. This is a really good night's camp, actually, just not having to cook, not having to do anything, sort of literally just set up a tent, and then I'm just chatting to you guys, and it's fantastic. And yeah, I mean, this is pretty nice. But when I was doing it for like days on end, I really noticed the difference. When I would go into like a pub to get water, and like I'm standing there waiting for them to fill it up, oh, I couldn't explain what the feeling is. It doesn't have words. But it's just oppressive. I guess that's the closest I can get to it. Just really oppressive. Yeah. Yeah, the freedom, man. Yeah, that's the right word for it. You've cracked it. Freedom. That's what it is about the outdoors. It's the freedom to just go where I want to go, and not get anything dragging me down, and I can just make choices that don't like have a great impact. They're not going to be massive. This is an interesting point, actually. It's complete tangent here, but something that I get quite aggravated by. Not aggravated, but like it's a little annoying. I always get frustrated in this country. I'm not talking about like the great wilderness of Alaska and stuff like that. Those places are dangerous. I mean, just even some of not the wilderness, but just Fred has said in like how like he's in Florida, and they've got like dangerous animals about, and you've got to be careful. But in this country, there are no dangerous animals. I mean, the odds of me coming across an adder is like slim, and they're not even that like dangerous, and they're going to avoid me more than anything else. There were no like predatory animals that are going to come anywhere near me. Even foxes will just give me a well wide berth. I suppose like there might be a wild boar somewhere, and if they've got like, you know, whatever you call baby boars or whatever, like a mother boar is going to maybe get aggravated if I stumble across. But essentially, it's a pretty safe country. But what I'm getting to anyway is I'm right off on a tangent here, but if you walk in any direction in this country, barring maybe Scotland, but in England and in Wales as well, it doesn't matter where I am, I'm not going to struggle to find civilization. I don't understand how anybody gets themselves in a situation where if you've got a tent and you've got supplies, and you're good for like a couple of days, there is very little danger. I mean, I guess you could get caught in the weather a little bit, but if you know what you're doing, you're not a complete novice, and you have actually got all the gear that you'll need, there's really no danger to like taking the wrong path. When I do a 1 kilometer mission, I'm never worried about like, oh, what if I get lost and I can't find my way back to civilization? It's like, well, no, you just walk in the direction you're going to hit a road, and then you follow the road, and then you get to civilization. And even if when I'm up in like the Snowdonia or up in the Lake District, I'm not that far away from civilization. There's not a lot of danger here. Like Brecon Beacons, like, you know, you can see where you've got to go. I mean, like getting there, if you've got no gear, if you've gone out for a day hike and you've gone out unprepared and you get caught with the weather, you could get in some trouble. And, you know, you've got to be careful. But if you actually geared up, if you've got your tent, you've got your food, you've got your water, or your filters, whatever, you're kind of solid. There is no danger when I'm walking around. So I love that. I get to just like, no matter what I'm doing, even if it's a 1 kilo mission. So and I love this about the 1 kilo missions actually. I can just walk wherever I am, wherever I want to go. I've got there's no consequence to like making a wrong choice other than like I'll fail the mission, but there's no big consequence. So it's pure freedom. I can just like walk and walk and walk, and that's all I've got to do. And if I wanted to stop, I can just stop, and I can any direction I like. It's a very sweet way to be. But anyway, I've gone right off on a tangent there. To apologise, guys. So improvement. Is Spark? Who are you asking about? People are the A word. I mean, not all people are A words. I've definitely met a few. Yeah, but no, it's not about getting away from everybody because everybody's an a-hole. If that's what you're referring to, Sparker. I hope not, but it's not about that. It's just about not having people with expectations on you, or needing your help and stuff like that. It's just about keeping things simple and easy, and that's why I like being on my own sometimes with the solo hikes and camping. It's okay with Noah coming along and Tim. They kind of look after themselves and they don't need me, and I do enjoy them. They're fun. They're more fun because that's what they are. They're fun. There's like chit chat, and there's like a lot of back and forth, and there's a bit more excitement to it, and yeah, it's good, but it's not the same when I'm out on my own and it's just me, and there's nobody with any expectations on me, and there's no one for me to look after. There's nobody waiting on me. There's just no, excuse me, what's the word? Responsibility. That's it. There's no responsibility, and that's why I went on a tangent about not having to worry about where I am if I'm getting lost, because I can always find my way back to a space where I can then figure out where I am. Even if my phone died and I couldn't like figure out on Google Maps, I'd be able to just walk somewhere and figure it out. I mean, I guess there's a few spots. I mean, certainly up in Scotland, you could get in some danger up there. You've got to take it seriously up there. Tim's up there right now. Tim is up in Scotland. As far as I know, he's still up there, walking around doing a big hike. I'm sure some of you guys have seen his posts. That's insane what he's up to. I want to do something like that. When I heard he was doing it, I really wanted to ask, can I come with you? But I was like, no, I can't ask that. You can't just ask yourself onto somebody else's solo adventure. And also, it was too short notice for me to like gear up properly because I don't have the gear for Scotland. I mean, I really don't have the gear for that. Yeah, you're right, Sparker. An interesting thing actually about the phone. On the first sort of few days of my trip, I had like my phone on most of the time, but I started to realize I was using my battery too much, so I'd turn my phone off when I didn't need it. When I wasn't like 100% I need it to like figure out what direction I'm going, I'd be turning it on and off all the time. Just turn it on, figure out my next bit of route, turn it off, and then just go by memory. And it was lovely not having my phone on. It was absolutely brilliant not having my phone on. I don't often do that. I usually have it on in my pocket just in case there's an emergency or something. And I can forget about it pretty quickly when I'm out on my own on a hike because I'm focused on something else. I don't need to have a complete disconnection, but there was something special about actually having a complete disconnection and just be like, I'm just walking for like 2 hours with my phone off and just like filming the odd couple of times with my camera. Like, this thing makes a noise every now and then, like a clunk. Cool, that made me jump, that did. Right. That no phone passion, yeah. Right. Well, look, guys, it's been a long one, and I'm just sitting here just eating KFC, so it feels like I should really be calling this. So, yeah, I mean, the chit chat's great though. We're all having a really good chit chat. So I don't know. I feel like I'm sort of waffling on as well now. I can't imagine how many people would get this far into the video when they watch this like not live. Because a lot of people do that. They kind of watch the video after it's gone, after it's uploaded or after it's streamed, whatever you call that. I'm not good with terminology, you may have noticed. But I do wonder how far anyone gets into that, because you're not watching it live. If they got to this point, would you really keep watching? Because I'm just eating KFC and chit-chatting to you guys in the chat. I mean, because they can't even see the chat. I mean, unless you can. But I've tried to see it. Tell me if I'm wrong. If any of you know, tell me if I'm wrong. But I don't think that if you're watching this after the fact that you can see any of the chat that's happening now. So half of what I'm saying isn't going to make sense. It's just weird. No, there's no emissions. It's just an electrical thing. I noticed there's a little sign just above me saying danger electricity. So, I mean, I guess if there's a fault, maybe I'll get electrocuted in the night, but I mean, that's probably as likely as getting struck by lightning. So I don't think I'll be worrying about that. Oh, they actually put some salt in here if I wanted it for my chips. But it's right at the bottom. I've got to the bottom of the bucket. I have reached the bottom of the bucket of chicken, guys. Not to say that I've eaten all the chicken, because there's still loads in the bag. Oh dear. Oh dear. It's so random, but so cool just to be sitting here having a KFC. Oh dear. And the KFC is actually closing in about 3 minutes, so those guys will be finished work soon. Oh dear. Yeah, I guess that does help, Sparker. If you're drunk, I mean, I'm sure this is really like interesting to anyone who's drunk, basically. Yeah. Oh, Noah's in. Hi, Noah. Oh, I can't stop now. Noah's just turned up, so I can't just leave. Oh dear. I was just talking about that it's getting quite a long one, Noah, and I'm just sitting there having a KFC, and then you've arrived, and I was like, I probably should call this, but there we go. Yeah, man, I've got a big bottle from KFC, so you'll probably rewatch this, Noah, but close up. PJ's on Noah. No, it is PJ's. That always gets me too. I'm so used to that though. I hadn't spotted that Noah was on camera on the collab with his PJs on. It hadn't actually occurred to me that he got spotted until you mentioned it. And that made me laugh so hard, because I had forgotten, like, well, I had forgotten, I just hadn't paid attention to that, because he's done that all the time that we've been camping. He just has, I think maybe the first time or two, you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong now, but the first time or two, I don't think he did bring PJs. I remember there was one time he said, "Oh, I wish I'd bought PJs," and from then on he always bought them, and he always wears them. Let's have a look. No PJs, it's not a wild camp. Oh dear. And it's not next morning. You guys. Jeez. Oh man. I'm glad it's a mild night, actually. That's something I've been missing for a while, actually. The winter camps are a bit of a hassle with the temperatures and stuff. It's okay if I've got a fire going, but even then it's a bit like you can't really just sit outside and just relax, but it's so mild now. You know, just put my fleece on and I'm just absolutely bang on the right temperature. So yeah, it's really nice having the warmth. I'm just going to move that light so you guys can see me without loads of shadow in the way all the time. Might add a little bit extra salt to the chips. I've got some chips to go with that now. I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of the KFC fries. They're always quite soft. They're not very crispy. Anyone else agree with that, or is that a controversial statement that the KFC fries are not very good? Burger King fries, now they're good, but I have learned to do a good fry at home. Actually, I can cook quite good ones myself. Oh, they're even worse now. They have the skin on. I don't really like skin on ones, but I'll have to suck it up. No, this is not the KFC event. So for Noah's sake, I'll give a quick recap. So I'm between SCS, which is like a bed and furniture store, and TK Maxx, right next to the Great Ooze, on a tiny bit of green space. I started off at a bus shelter, had to sneak around the back way because there was a load of people in there. And basic plan was real simple. I've come out with the most minimal kit I ever have. Like, it's ridiculous. And this is a good example, actually, to anybody out there who's like, oh, I just need to buy the right kit before I get going. And I just need this, need that, and need to build up a load of kit. You don't need loads and loads of kit. You can get away with so little when it's the summer. It's unreal. You don't even need a tent. I mean, a tent's a nice thing. Like, basically, the tent means I don't have to worry about slugs. I can already see one, like basically crawling on my tent over here, or slithering, or whatever you call it. Tent's nice. Don't have to worry about slugs. Got the mesh done up. They can't get in. So it's, you know, a nice bit of comfort for that. And obviously, if it was going to rain or something, you know, a tent or a tarp is important. But if you know the weather's good, you don't need a tent. But basically, I've got tent, mattress, pillow, and sleeping quilt. I mean, you could come out with your duvet from home. I mean, if you're not going far, the extra weight and pack size doesn't even matter. As long as you've got something to put on the ground. I think the most important thing is something keeping you off the ground, because the ground will make you cold. And yeah, you don't need a lot of kit at all. So I've come out with almost nothing. And so the plan was get set up, get dinner from KFC. That went so wrong at KFC. That went so wrong, Noah. I thought they were open to 11, which they were, but from 10 o'clock, it's drive-through only. I turned up at like 10:05. They were locked up. I had to basically beg the guys to serve me. That's weird. I thought I had something behind me. Could just be the box again. There's stuff that makes noises in there. It's very weird. But anyway, yeah, sorry, what was I saying? Yeah, but I begged someone to actually serve me at the drive-through, even though I didn't have a car. And the guy in charge decided he'd let me have it. So here I am, KFC, massive bucket of chicken. And I think no one knows I haven't had a KFC for a long, long time, years. So I've been really enjoying this. Yeah, for the drive-through, man. I mean, it's just ridiculous. They basically need a car to be sensed, and it was to do with, like, you know, keeping account of how many customers, and I guess there's like health and safety things about me just walking around on a drive-through bit. But they let me do it in the end. They let me do it at the window. So yeah, that was well interesting. Quite a few of the guys had a good chuckle at that. They were hoping for the full KFC experience, and what they got was basically a guy walking through the drive-through, making his way into getting his KFC. I might have to change the title to that. Begging KFC employees to serve me at the drive-through without a car. I mean, if any of the KFC guys are watching this in post, because hopefully they don't watch it tonight because I know where I am, but if any of them actually find my channel and watch this, thank you very, very much if you get this far into the video. You guys are solid, real solid guys. Really appreciate it. So beep beep, yeah. Yeah, my brother did manage one a long time ago. That was good when George used to work. My brother George, he used to work for KFC, and he started out just obviously just working in one, but he then started like running them. He ran the one in, I don't know if he ran the one in Stevenage or no, but he was working there. But while he was working there, anytime that I went in for chicken, like basically he'd give us like a full bucket. You bought a bucket of chicken for whatever the price of chicken was, and he would literally fill it up to the top. Like, I'm not joking, just fill the thing up, just rammed full. And there'd be plenty of breasts in there for me and stuff like that. Because he knew when I was little, that's all I'd eat was the breast sort of thing. And so it'd be like, I'd go in and it would just be full. And then I'd go home and take it back to mum and dad, and we'd all have a big feast. And good times, those good times. When you know someone in KFC and they're willing to just fill the bucket for you. Fantastic stuff. If little G is watching, because I know sometimes my nephew watches this, you'll know what I'm talking about. It was good times when you could go into a KFC and get like a mad big bucket. Right. I've got to look how long this thing's even going on for. I mean, I have no idea. So it's 11 o'clock now, and I started this at 8:30. That's 2.5 hours. Okay, it's not. Is that right? All right, if I mathed that out properly. I started at 8:30, didn't I? Yeah, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30. Okay, 2.5. That's not as bad. I thought it was a lot longer than that. It feels so much longer. Oh dear. Right. They've got like a coating on some of these. That's nice. I might have to revise my thoughts on the KFC fries. Yep, no. Thought I could hear something, but it's just somebody over there at the bus stop probably. Do get a bit skittish when I'm on these proper urban ones. In a place like this, I'm like just waiting for guys to just walk around the corner like some security guard having heard me. Oh, Noah, you're right. That's a big shame there wasn't a Krispy Kreme about. Oh, that would have been good. The one down at Enfield, I love that one. It's they have the light that comes on, don't they, when they're doing the fresh bake. There's definitely an animal over there. I can hear an animal. It's like a squeaky thing. It could be a duck. Maybe that's what I heard earlier. Maybe there's like some ducks in the river. And maybe I can hear them like doing a little squeaky kind of like thing. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, and they would give you like the free one that was just like literally off the conveyor belt thing. Ho ho. If there was one like that around here, I'd be there in the morning waiting for the light to go on. Right. You still haven't camped yet, Sparker? Jeez, man, you've got to get out there. You've got to get it done. You could be, you could have been out there tonight. We could be watching each other camp. We could both do a live stream. To be fair, Noah, I could definitely cook here. I could easily crack out my fire pit with a bit of charcoal, but I just made the choice because I can now have a KFC, and there's one nearby. It just seems a shame to like miss the opportunity. It meant that I could do this sort of thing where I could properly have a chat with everybody, because we all know that when I start cooking and chatting, it can go a bit wrong, and I get a bit distracted. So, yeah. Excuse me. Oh, well, I can't eat all them chips. Whew. Oh, I've eaten too much, guys. I've got hiccups now. I'm going to just hold my breath and try to get rid of them, because you don't hear all that. Oh, blimey. I mean, so far so good now. It does seem like a good choice. It's gone quite well. Oh, I need to get my feet out though. Oh, I've been in the same position too long. All right. Yeah, but we've probably got to wrap this up soon, guys. Honestly, it's been going on for a while. We're 2.5 hours or more in. I mean, somehow I've apparently still got 8 or 9 people watching. So that's incredible. Excuse me. Oh, the stuff on the fries brought something up. They were a little bit spicy. No, that's all right. All right, let's have a little look at the things. I'm sure you have much more intellect to impart on us. Oh man, not really. I'm a clever guy when it comes to working with my hands and building stuff and doing stuff like camping and whatnot. Like, yeah, fine, but I mean, I let the rest of the world pass me by most of the time. I don't pay attention to politics and stuff like that. I just find it all too disheartening. There aren't any real good choices in life with that sort of stuff. I just hope that, you know, the worst doesn't happen. It's all a bit beyond me. It's a weird thing. Life is actually far more simple than people sort of. Life is complex, but then it's also far simpler than humans like to make it. And for some reason, we always like to make everything really complicated. And nothing is more complicated than how the UK bloody world government and everything works. It's just so unnecessarily complicated. Oh, blimey. Right, I'm just trying to get comfortable. Oh, could do with a little walk around, to be honest. What do we think? One little walk around and then we call it, or shall I just call it? I don't know. Does anyone want to walk around? I could probably do a little exploration, work off some chicken. I don't know if there's much to show you, really. You've kind of seen most of what's out there. It's just the shops, really. Walk. Dear. Yeah, you're not wrong. It is the best way to deal with your mental health. Ignore the stuff that you can't change and can't do anything about. I mean, obviously, you can vote, but in all honesty, unless you're actually paying very close attention and you're very knowledgeable, you can end up voting for some stuff that you just don't really think you want to vote for. Like, I didn't even bother to vote about Brexit because I had no idea what the right thing was or wrong. My instinct was probably that we'd end up with, like, you know, leaving the EU, and that it might be good if we had strong leaders, but we haven't had a strong leader for decades. Yeah, decades. I can say that because that's absolutely true. But I wouldn't have known what anything was about it. And if anything we've learned is a lot of people realised that they'd voted for something they didn't want. And it's because people are going to vote even when they don't know enough to actually legitimately think that they know what they're voting about. That's dangerous. I mean, I don't know enough about how the country's run to make a choice about who's the right leader. So I just don't bother. I just ignore a lot of that. But I'm aware that somebody's got to make the choice and somebody's got to actually know what they're doing. And so, you know, somebody has to. There's got to be somebody out there, hopefully. But yeah, it's not me. I mean, it might be a bit of a selfish way to look at things, but I'm just like, yeah, I just steer clear of that, try to sort my own family out and look after them and deal with my own stuff and just get out and camp and then entertain you guys. Yeah, lots of lies. Lots of people didn't even know their arse from their elbow with it. And yeah, I steered well clear of that. I just didn't know. Like, I didn't know what the right or wrong thing would have been to do, so I just like, nah. I mean, I generally don't vote anyway because I'm just a bit miffed by the whole thing. I wouldn't know who the right person to vote for is half the time because they're lying and they're not going to do what they said they're going to do, and most of the time because they're not even going to say they're going to do anything much use anyway. There's a lot of promises about stuff, but our whole system over here is just basically. I don't know if anyone knows the story about how the nautical clock was basically invented. Like there was a guy who was trying to invent a clock that would work on like ships back in the day when they like had like just your pendulum clocks, and he kept trying, he kept just adding bits and it wouldn't work, so he had another thing until eventually it worked, and it was just the last thing he added that worked, and everything before it was just like all this failure stuff. So it was this really complicated mess, but it didn't need to be. It was just this one last little thing, but because he didn't know what had and hadn't worked, because he just kept adding to it, he couldn't ever take anything away because he didn't know what had or hadn't, and it took quite a while then to obviously simplify it down. And I equate that to our system. It's just like broken bit on broken bit on broken bit on broken bit. Didn't work, didn't work, didn't work. And it's like, you just keep adding to it. It's like, we really should probably start this thing afresh at some point. It's got ridiculously complicated for no reason. And they do try to do that from time to time. But like, clean slate a certain aspect of it, whatever. But I mean, yeah, it's just too shockingly complicated for me to be bothered. It really is. To vote on in Brexit, but oh yeah, there you go. Noah's good with voting and stuff. Noah knows a lot more about this sort of stuff than me. In fairness, that could be the easy way out. I could just let Noah tell me what to do, and I'll just vote for whatever he says is the right thing to vote for. Although I'll be honest, if I was Noah and I lived in London, I definitely would have been voting for Count Binface or whatever his name was for mayor, just because that's brilliant. That guy made me laugh, and that's all you need, really. Oh dear. He couldn't have done a worse job than most of them do, let's face it. Yeah, I mean, let's get back on the camping. Noah's mentioned something there. Yeah, we do. There are lots of people who do struggle, like you, Sparker, to get out and push, and I am interested actually. Let me know in the comments. What is it that stops you? Is it just are you worried about something in particular? Or is it just you're procrastinating over it for no particular reason? Or let me know, because I'd be really interested what's stopping you getting out. Because if you've got all the gear and you're just trying to get yourself to do it, tell me what's stopping you, man. Because you should just get out there and do it. Wow, that one's over my head, mate. Oh dear, that's a complicated. I'm going to read that, and then anyone who's watching this afterwards can see. Sparker says, if social procedure was enacted by functional process, we would be a better species. I mean, I have no idea what that means. That's too above my pay grade, that one. But yeah, secluded equals park, woodland, etc. Yeah. Binface wasn't bad, actually. Funny chap, yeah. All right, so what we're going to stream? Sean's. Hello, another new thing. Loving the stream. I want to start you say self, I'm assuming you mean stealth camping. Yeah, man, do it. Get it done. I'm just reading Sparker's comments. Sorry. Yeah. So yeah, get out there, get some camping done. It doesn't have to be crazy like this. I wouldn't recommend anyone who hasn't done a lot of camping to do anything like this, because this takes a little bit of I don't know what the word is, but like sand, basically. I wouldn't like to say that I'm brave doing this, but yeah, you have to be a little bit nuts to do this sort of thing, and it helps to have a little bit of experience and know what you're doing. And I've kind of bodged a few bits and pieces here, like not having a pole on my tent and stuff. But I mean, I'll be honest, if I had a pop-up tent, it would have done here. Henry got a new tent recently. I could have used that, to be fair. It's a bit heavier and bigger than my tent, and it wouldn't have fit in the bag, so probably not, but still. Now, the idea of the camp along, yeah, I had thought about that. I did the I'll be honest, I've kind of given up on the whole buy me a coffee website thing. I'm like, I've deleted that. I'm like, I can't be bothered with that right now. It didn't seem to get a lot of traction because I'm just not really a big YouTuber yet. I did it because Paul suggested I should do it because he's been doing it. But I'll be honest, he's got a lot more real solid support and subscribers than I have. So I think it's worked a little bit for him. But I really want to just focus on actually getting some really good content out and learning to edit a bit better first. But once YouTube tell me that I can do like memberships on my channel, I might do extra content and videos for that, and then you guys will actually see that a lot better without having to go off to another web like site. Because the weird thing was you'd have to go to that site to get the links and then come back to YouTube to watch it. I thought they would like let you upload videos on there. They don't. I'm like, that's really awkward. So why am I having people come to you just to go back to YouTube? Nonsense. So I was like, I can't be bothered with that. But an idea I had anyway, getting on to the reason why I talked about this, an idea I had while I was doing that was the idea to help some of you get out. I would do like a thing where you could, like, you know, get on a membership and come out camping with me and Noah and some of the others and that. And I wanted to do it like that because obviously there's a safety aspect involved and a certain amount of logistical sort of like work to do to try to work around people a certain amount. Like, so if someone wanted to go camping, they want to do in a specific area for travel and stuff. Like when I go out with Tim, for instance, I have to consider where he can get to because he doesn't drive. And like even like with Paul, I've got one plan next weekend with Paul, and we're going to meet up halfway, and we're both going to drive. But it has to be considered, obviously, you know, the people you're camping with, you've got to be a little bit respectful and try to organise things around them and what they can do and what they can't do. And I thought, because there's logistics on that, I'm not going to just sort of do it and not have someone actually like put a bit of effort and a bit of money into it. It has to be sort of like, you know, funded in some way because there's a lot of effort and a lot of time involved. And obviously there's a certain procedure that I have to go through for safety. So I figured I'll put some sort of membership level in, maybe it'll work like that. But that was something I figured might happen, like it might sort of grow when if I get massive, if I had like thousands of subscribers and followers, maybe then someone might be interested. I didn't think it was going to take off like anytime soon. But it is like a valid idea. I like the idea of being able to help others get out. That's why I did it. It wasn't trying to like make money. You know, I just want to try to help other people get out to start camping, because I'm aware some people do struggle, and it's like you need somebody to get out with sometimes. I'm just going to read a few comments. There's been a few coming in. Sparker and Noah giving it the old chin wagon here. Bike trailer for £80, but it doesn't fit on my bike. But equipment attached to a bicycle would be a huge help. Man, you must have a lot of gear, Sparker. Did you ever answer me? I didn't see it. If you did, how comes you've not got out? What's stopping you, man? You have you got anything specific that's stopping you? Yeah, I like the idea though. Noah, I like the idea of trying to help people get out and get started in camping. You know, you could give tips then on like stealth camping and like some more advanced stuff. Scaredy cat, is that yeah? But what are you scared of? That's what I'm trying to ask you. If you're scared to get out and camp, Sparker, why? What is it that scares you? Is it the worry of people finding you? Is it the worry about animals? Is it just like being alone? What is it? Is it like a lot of things and everything? I mean, you wild pooping. That's easy, man. That's easy, right? All you do there is make sure you do a good one before you leave and just go for one night and make sure you're back early. I will not poop here. I mean, I went before I came out and I won't need one until I get back home. So I don't even have to worry about that here. I mean, to be fair, if I needed one during the day, I could just go over to one of the places. But yeah. Don't even start, Noah. Don't even start. I've done some really dodgy stuff when I was younger. And I know what Noah's thinking about, and we're not sharing that story. That's well out. That's well out there. That's not happening. But yeah, you poop every time you eat. Well, you can solve that. Don't eat on trail. No. Now, wild pooping's actually really good. Actually, I've got really good at that. And actually, I would say I prefer pooping out in nature now than I do like on a toilet, because it's well known it's actually better for you to be squatting right down, like basically doing, what do they call it? Like, I can't remember. I don't know what it's called. It's something squat or something. But it's where you've got your but basically the idea is if you're squatting down, you've got your all your innards are like lined up properly, and it's actually easier to poop when you're squatted down over a hole in the ground, basically. It's just a lot better for you. And there are some countries where they do that, and cultures where that's the case. They've got just like a hole in the ground, and you don't have a porcelain throne to sit on. So yeah, it's yeah. There you go. Noah's agreeing. It's more healthy. Wait, what's the cure? The cure is just doing it, man. It's do you have a garden, Sparker? That's my question. Do you have a garden? But even before you get to a garden, you can technically just not porcelain phone, porcelain throne. I don't do my properly, but throne, yeah, porcelain throne, i.e. toilet. Yeah, it's oh, gotta be careful, I'm getting a bit loud. Yeah, it's you can build up to it if you're a bit worried about, like, you know, doing it out in the wild. Your dog's used the garden to its limits. Well, yeah, don't walk in your dog's mess, Christ's sake. You could even do it technically in your house, but I mean, you could go into your toilet room, right? So if you've got one that's big enough that you can actually do stuff around, like, you know, if you've got a bathroom or whatever, you've got space around the toilet. So you've got a nice floor that's, you know, like, you put some stuff down, put like, you know, a sheet down or a towel or something if you want to. But what you can do, get yourself a bag, like a poop bag or big plastic bag, whatever, and practice over that in your bathroom, in your toilet room, whatever, and practice over that, and then you'll get used to the whole process. So practice, like, obviously what you do with your trousers, like sometimes if I'm in a very private area and I'm just like literally getting changed in the morning, I'll do it while I'm getting changed, and I'm basically got nothing on my legs, and I can just literally just squat down and not worry about trousers flapping around, because it's very hard if you've got them in between your ankles. But often if I'm like doing it and I'm actually been walking, I'll just take one leg out, swing it around to the side, do my squat, get everything sorted, and then put my one leg back on. But there's a whole process to it. But the whole like kind of like squatting and doing, Henry found that quite hard when he's had to do that, where he's had to just squat down and poop. And some people do find it difficult, but you can practice that. You can practice that at home, and you just give yourself a place to do that, and then you can just bag it up and go on like a bit of dog poop. Yeah. But yeah, that's the way you can get over the whole wild pooping anyway, is practice at home over a bag. No problems there. And once you've got the whole process and you're used to that whole thing, then it's just being outside. The first time you do it outside, just try to find a place where you're surrounded. If you find a nice dense woodland, or maybe you've got a few shrubs or something, you can find a very secluded spot, and then you can just dig your hole, do your stuff that you practiced, and then out you go. Easy enough. So yeah, right. Anyway, I reckon that's probably where I should call it. It's 3 hours now, guys, and we're talking about poop. So yeah, that's got to be the end of this for sure. Some joker's going to probably clip some of this and put a video out of me talking about poop and how to get yourself into like working through doing wild pooping. But to be fair, that's a legit concern. I have to say full respect to you for bringing that up on the in the comments. So not a lot of people want to talk about that and how that's a bit of a thing to get over. And I admit, when I first started, it wasn't that easy. Like just the whole thing. And we've got it pretty good as things goes. Us blokes, we can just walk up to a bush somewhere, and as long as we've got a back to everything, we can just whip out and get a number one done. The poor ladies who go camping, they've got to deal with it even when they just wanted to go for a tour, just for a wee. So yeah, I mean, oh, that'd be a hassle. And I know it's like that for Helly when we've been out walking and hiking. Sometimes she just needs to go for a wee, and it's like, it's a hassle. It's a hassle. So I'm just like, yeah. I mean, I know they've designed she-wees and stuff, but even those are a bit of a hassle. So yeah. Not here to extract the urine. Sounds to me like you just take the piss. That's the thing, I know it does stop people. I mean, I know people where they don't like to go out from their own home because they have weak bladders and they don't like to use other people's facilities. I've known people like that, and it's not just about camping. Then it's like they won't do all sorts of stuff. I know people who won't go to the cinema, or they won't go around somebody's house for a meal because they're worried about it. It's crazy, but this is a thing. This is a whole thing, and I can fully understand how there's people out there who avoid camping because they're worried about that aspect of it, and it doesn't get talked about a lot. But it's yeah, it's a tricky one with the whole wild pooping. It's you do have to be careful as well. Like I couldn't wild poop here. You would not have me wild pooping here. I'm just like, nah, that's not happening. As I said, I just did one before I left, and I know that I'll be all right until I get back home tomorrow, because I'm not going to be leaving too late in the morning. The shops around here open, some of them 10, some of them 11. So there's going to be people around here from about 9 or 10 in the morning. I'm not going to be hanging around and having people catch me. I'm going to be up at like 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm just going to be heading out. I'm not going to be messing around. I'm going to have my breakfast bars I bought at M&S, and then I'm going to be gone. So, yeah, and yeah, we are on the toilet conversation. Poor old Sparker. Anyway, so I hate to cut you guys off in your middle of conversation, but we're definitely at the back end of this thing. So I'm going to say thank you to everybody who's been here with me. Anyone who's watching this afterwards and gets to this point, make sure you comment below, because I'd love to know how many people reach the end, and I really would like you to comment. So please do. Please comment at the if you're watching this after the fact. I really want to find out if anyone actually gets to the end of one of these, because it's so long, and I'm like, I don't know who watches a live all the way to the end when it's 3 hours long, and you're not even watching it live. That would be incredible. But if you have, comment and tell me, and I'd love to know if you've done that. But everyone who's been here and anyone who comes back and watches the rest, if you were here already, thank you to everybody who's been watching. And I really appreciate you guys coming and along with me on these live ones. They are a lot of fun. They really are. So yeah, I really appreciate it. Oh, thanks, Sparker. You're a legend too, though, man, because you're always here supporting me, and it's fantastic. I love it. It's brilliant having guys like you about. It's you and a few others like Fred and a few other people, and like Noah, obviously, who that support from the beginning all the way, with this sort of, you watch me all these live ones and all that sort of thing. It means the world. It does push me to keep on and keep doing this. There's been a couple of times I'm like, it's got a bit stressful, and I've been like, do I really want to do this anymore? But then you guys have kind of really cheered me up with it and made me feel like I'm actually, got some guys out there who are into it with me, and I love it. You guys are brilliant, really are. So thank you, Sparker, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, you definitely are his #1 fan. Sparker is definitely no #1 fan. I will confirm that, officially confirmed. But yeah, so take care, guys. I'll see you, I guess, for another live next month, 3rd Saturday of the month, as always. But check out the video next week. It's going to be a really good one. I promise you, it'll be well worth the watch. It's my best adventure to date, and I'll be honest, it just gets better. It starts off good, but it gets better and better as it goes on, and it's a properly long series, so it's going to be well worth the watch. And anyone who's watching this point and you haven't subscribed, you really should. So subscribe, and you'll get to see those. They are well worth the watch. They really are. I mean, that was the most epic adventure I've ever done, and I'm really proud of it. So the more people who watch that, it's just be amazing. But yeah, thanks to everyone who's been here, and that's me for now. You guys keep having fun. And there's a button somewhere.